tonight. The Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. Jets hosting the Bills, 5 o'clock pregame, 5:30 kickoff tonight, prime time for you. Saturday night, and I do mean night, Cougars at UCLA, pregame at 5:30, kickoff set for 7:45 in the evening. But that gives you time to sleep in on Sunday because the Hawks won't play again until Sunday evening themselves as they host the Arizona Cardinals, a big NFC West matchup. Pregame at 3, kickoff at 5:25. Congratulations to the Evergreen men's soccer team. They beat Carroll College 3-0 yesterday and move on to the conference semifinals, taking on Rocky Mountain College at 4 p.m. Latest AP Press poll for high school football shows the 4A ranks led by number 1 KMAS. 3A is Eastside Catholic, the number 1 slot. Tumwater slides into the number 1 slot for the 2A teams. They will be hosting Franklin Pierce tomorrow night at 7. And number 8 in the state in the 2A ranks is River Ridge, and they will be playing North Kitsap on Saturday night at South Sound Stadium. And rounding out the rest of the rankings, number 1 in the 1A division is Royal. Montesano is ranked number 10. PL, Willapa Valley in the 2B, or not to be level, and they are tied with Lynn, Ritzville, and Sprague. So PL Willapa Valley is a combination team, as is Lynn, Ritzville, Sprague. So 5 towns, 2 teams.
2 teams. Oh,
and that's pretty cool, yeah. And then Liberty Christian rounds out your rankings with the number 1 slot in the Class 1B. Cool. St. Martin, their men's basketball program begins Northwest Athletic Conference, Pac-West Conference Challenge this weekend. And we might mention Gonzaga is going to be playing this weekend. And they're over in Okinawa, Japan, a special tournament going on over there. The Shelton High School football banquet scheduled November 18th at the Shelton Civic Center, and Mariners begin spring training tomorrow. No, March 2nd, by the way. And so we'll have some more sports news, a little bit of home cooking for Franklin Gutierrez. Goody signed on to extend his contract by 1 more year after a surprisingly healthy and productive 2015. So when he's playing and when he's healthy, he's a big asset to the Mariners. And so we keep our fingers crossed that Goody will be playing all season. He's a Gold Glove winning center fielder. He's good. He just is always hurt.
Always sick.
And sick and stuff. Something's always going on with the Goody.
All right, so it's cold out there, and 33. We're likely to see the start of the rain in about 3 hours. Now, the forecast has changed, and more and more rain in the forecast. Over 2 inches just today, and over 2 1/4 inches tomorrow.
Yikes.
So that's about 5 inches over the next 2 days. We'll add another inch or so on Saturday. And more rain into next week. Now, all this rain hopefully will add up a little bit of snow in the snowpack. We'll check the mountain conditions. We'll have our first ski report at the end of this month, but right now it is 33 out there.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line by email or Facebook. Now, from somewhere in the wilderness of the Olympic Peninsula, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
All right, good morning to you. 6:15 on a Thursday morning.
Yeah.
Daybreak here. Wow.
Our once director of Habitat for Humanity and perhaps future radio announcer.
Hello.
Tammy Newton's going to be in studio with us. Going to brighten the day here in about 1 hour. She is bringing in the new executive director of Habitat, and his name is Marty Crow. And we'll be introducing Marty to the community this morning. That's very exciting.
Tomorrow, Dale, we want to make sure everybody is aware and ready for this big interview at 8:30 tomorrow, just after we get done talking to Dr. Alex Apostle, which we normally do now on Fridays at 8 o'clock. Jerry Vermillion is coming in along with Justin Cowling. And Justin, we know from various adventures around the area. He's been on the show quite a few times, and he is working now closely with former Gonzaga star Jerry Vermillion, and he'll be in there working on a book. He's got a book out.
He's got the book out. I've been reading it, and he also coached high school basketball at Irene S. Reed High School right here in Shelton, one of his many stops in his career.
Yeah.
And so some good stories. He retired and is living in Union. And so he's got a lot of local ties, and we're bringing Jerry on board just to kind of chat a little bit about his book and his he's got real fast, and these older people have such fascinating stories, and the world has changed so much that it is very fun to read that kind of a book. If you've got ties with Irene S. Reed or with Gonzaga, you'll probably for sure want to pick this thing up. Great photos of days gone by and that sort of thing. So we'll talk with Jerry Vermillion tomorrow morning, just before we get off the air tomorrow.
That'll be a lot of fun. All right, looking at some of the things to talk with you about today, there is that scheduled power outage for Mason PUD 3 in the Camilchi Point area.
Yep.
Several trees. They want to make sure those are out of here so we have less problems later, in the season, as it's already going to be a messy day today. 10 o'clock till 2 o'clock. More information's on KMAS.com.
Sort of practicing for probably anticipated power outages down the road.
It's messy.
Pittsburgh Lions, as you heard in the news, are having their free Veterans Barbecue this Saturday at noon at the Fire Hall there in Hoodsport. So good time for all to come on by. And if you didn't get a chance to maybe commemorate the day yesterday, this Saturday is another opportunity for you.
Yeah, for sure. Looking at some of the stories from around the Northwest, yesterday, Veterans Day, Kitsap County is looking to end homelessness for veterans by next Veterans Day.
Yeah, wow.
Kitsap Sun reports that a coalition of agencies has created the Homes for All Who Served project, housing dozens of former service members. Recent survey found that the 45 veterans living in unsuitable conditions in Kitsap County, 45 vets there.
Chipotle expecting to reopen, that is, their 43 stores, all of them, today. And they voluntarily closed all their restaurants in Washington and in the Portland area. The investigation did not find the cause of that E. coli breakout.
They
never did find out the cause of it. And not that, there was that commonality, but maybe Chipotle is just that popular.
All their food got through.
Yeah, so who knows?
It all up.
But that's hopefully going to be in the rearview mirror here soon for them, for that franchise.
One more update for you from this story out of Kennewick. 3 Washington teens have now been charged in connection with kidnapping of an elderly woman who, by the way, was the grandmother of one of these kids.
Yeah.
Stuffing her in the trunk, driving for more than 200 miles to a Walmart near Portland. Tri-City Herald reports 16-year-old Dylan Martin has been charged as an adult with kidnapping, burglary, and theft in this incident that happened on the 2nd. Martin is the great-grandson of the 86-year-old woman allegedly abducted from her Kennewick.
86, stuffed in the trunk, driven to Oregon, and then pops herself out of the trunk and runs to safety. What a great story there. Federal Preservation Council.
Yes.
Plans to look at a dispute between the Navy and Washington State over planned sonar and explosives training and testing. According to the Peninsula Daily News, State Historic Preservation Officer Allison Brooks says she was stunned when the Navy said in a letter that it was finished consulting with her on the potential impacts of that testing.
Either they didn't like the results that she was given,
or she
was
not done
giving those. She was stunned. Stunned.
Yes.
We'll be right back.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
I'm Ari Wolf with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. We could be waiting a little longer than anticipated to find out if the NFL will make a return to Los Angeles in 2016. NFL Network's Ian Rappaport reported on Wednesday the Jets owner Woody Johnson told reporters outside the league's home office that a vote for relocation could be pushed back to March. St. Louis, San Diego, Oakland, and Los Angeles all made presentations in New York on Wednesday, followed up by question and answer sessions with the stadium, finance, and LA opportunity committees. With Eddie Lacy struggling, the Packers made a switch to their running back depth chart leading into Sunday's game against the Lions. Coach Mike McCarthy told reporters on Wednesday he considers James Starks the number 1 tailback with Lacy the number 2. Thursday Night Football heads to the Meadowlands as Todd Bowles and the Jets take on Rex Ryan and the Bills. Jets-Bills Thursday night at 8 p.m. now only on NFL Network. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
I spend my days helping others. It's rewarding, just not always financially. So I got TIAA CREF. They were founded to help people like me meet our financial goals. They've got so many industry accolades, it's unreal. I like taking care of people. Sometimes that even includes myself.
Intelligent investing for the long term. Just what you'd expect from a company that's created to serve and built to perform. Visit TIAA.org. TIAA CREF Individual Institutional Services, LLC. This testimonial is an act of portrayal. Investing involves risk. Individual results will vary.
You don't have to be a retail giant or government agency to be the victim of a costly data breach. If you run a website and collect customer data, your small to mid-sized business is just as likely to be targeted by hackers. The Barracuda Web Application Firewall provides cost-effective instant security against automated and targeted attacks, making this WAF a must-have for your SMB. Reclaim your network. Try a Barracuda Web App Firewall risk-free at barracuda.com/WAF.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom31.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom31.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom31.com. Go to freedom31.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom31.com.
Hi, this is Terry Allen with a look at the community calendar on KMAS. Nonprofits post your events on KMAS.com. Shelton Elks holds a bingo night every Thursday. Play begins at 6 p.m. Food and beverages available. It's open to the public at 741 Southeast Craig Road. Doors open at 5 p.m. For KMAS News Radio, I'm Terry Allen.
Good morning. I'm Thurston County Sheriff John Snaza, and you're listening to Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
All right, good morning to you. It's Daybreak here at KMAS. We encourage you to head over to the website, KMAS.com. This morning, Dale, one of the big stories was part of the county meetings yesterday and this past week, talking about purchasing or leasing vehicles. I have never understood what a lease, what it really happens when you lease a vehicle.
Well, you never really own the vehicle.
Okay, so that's one. And so they're looking at leasing these cop cars versus buying the cop cars.
Right.
And the estimated cost to lease per vehicle was $74,000 and the cost to purchase was $90,000. So on the surface, I mean, if you're just looking at economics there, that's $26,000 in savings. But aren't there like...
Is that for one car, $90,000?
Gosh, I hope not, because it says $210,000 was requested by the sheriff's office in a 2015 budget supplemental to purchase 5 pursuit vehicles.
Okay.
So 50. So these the pursuit ones are kind of like the souped up versions.
Yes.
There's a little
little extra put into those. Yeah.
And the net average of the patrol cars currently in force is close to $150,000 miles, which is the recommended maximum. National Safety recommends replacements at 100.
Yeah, I think that's old school now because not everybody, but the majority of people have cars well beyond 100,000 miles.
Oh, yeah.
We're over 200 on one of our vehicles. We're bumping 197 on the other one, and 150 on the third one. So, and no real significant mechanical or operational problems with those cars. Now they aren't getting used like a sheriff would use their car.
Sure.
But you know what I'm saying? Cars last longer now than they used to.
Cars last longer. And then the other thing that I just thought of is always when we would listen to Car Talk and oil changes and just the length of time in between oil changes now
it's different.
Is massive. It was every 2,000, 3,000 miles.
Right.
Now you can go 10,000 with certain types of oil.
I know a particular commissioner, I won't even say what entity it is.
Okay.
Who has a nice car.
Uh-huh.
It's never changed the oil. He says he's out to prove him wrong, that you don't ever have to.
That you don't ever have to. So, I mean, when you lease these things, they have someone there that checks off all the surface damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the lease, they go and they ding you. So it's likely, maybe, that these estimated costs to lease could go up. But
yeah,
I don't know. So,
yeah, just the lease always has a mileage limit and a pretty good steep difference in the buyout, if you will, of the lease.
Right.
If you go over a certain mileage.
And does that count when do they?
So
do
when they do a deal with the sheriff's
cops?
department, they know they're going to go.
Oh yeah,
deep over the limit of mileage. So I don't know if they work out a special arrangement, because the other thing you can do know too is that they are maintained.
Yeah, you do know that they do.
They
do follow their scheduled upkeep and things like that.
Absolutely. And so, and I don't know which would be the most advantageous. I always liked the idea of owning rather than just having the lease. But I can remember folks saying, no, I'm going to always want a new and dependable vehicle. I'll never stop having car payments. I just put it into my regular budget. And they just chalk it off as that's the best way to go. And then they know that every 2 or 3 years they're going to get a new car.
Right.
And they're okay with that. People are okay with that. And if they don't drive a lot, because they do kind of keep you down to around 10,000 miles a year.
It seems like it when I see the small print on those TV commercials.
Yeah,
that is a totally different entity than buying a police car.
Oh man,
for the sheriff's department.
Yeah, so it's an interesting deal.
So check it out. Commented on, if you will. Alan commented there. He just did a little update on there. We're getting a lot of good, thoughtful comments on the news stories with our new Facebook integration. And
thank you.
It is a little complicated.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you, but it's better than not knowing who these people are. We could spill the beans and just say, like, this person, without even giving so many names, used as 7 or 8 different users back in the day. One person. And they would be having conversations with themselves almost.
Yeah, pretty much.
Be like conversations with themselves and like one other person. So it is a lot better. And these comments, they're pretty good stuff. Pretty good comments. So thank you for that.
Yes, indeed. And check out KMAS.com early and often. Federal government says fall Chinook salmon returning to the Hanford Reach section of the Columbia River in record-setting numbers. Scientists estimate 200,000 Chinook are spawning in the Hanford Reach, and that's the most fish ever counted in this area since the dams were constructed back in the 30s.
Oh, wow.
So very good news, especially for those who are in defense of keeping the dams in place. There are other sources and people who are advocating the removal of the dams. So this is a pretty exciting bit of knowledge to know that the Chinook salmon are returning in record numbers there. That's very good.
It is cool.
Yeah.
Just about 6:30 at KMAS. Mary Lynn Foster has the latest in local news. And after that, we'll talk a little bit more, live the country life, and see what else is happening on old KMAS.com.
Yes, it's a Thursday. Thanks for joining us.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Local news is brought to you by Fred Holmes Tree Service. FredHolmesTreeService.com, 427-4489.
You're listening to KMAS News Radio. I'm Mary Lynn Foster. Electricity was restored to the Bay Shore and Johns Prairie areas just after 11 yesterday morning. PUD3 crews worked quickly to make repairs after a tree fell across power lines just north of Shelton on Highway 3. It ripped down lines from several spans of poles, tore through fiber optic cables, and damaged electrical equipment. There's a planned power outage in the Camilchi Point area today to allow for the safe removal of several trees on southeast Camilchi Point Road. Father Joe Michael from the St. David Wales Episcopal Church visited Daybreak yesterday to say goodbye. Father Joe has been part of St. David's congregation for many years now and has spent countless hours helping those in the community who are struggling. And he made an impassioned request.
A Community Lifeline is an agency here in town we've been supporting, really the only building in town to shelter the homeless in a transitional kind of way. And so we're selling that building. The church itself is selling that building because small church, small congregation, aging congregation can't afford to maintain that 1926 building. So anybody who can hear my voice, I got a campaign. I'm leaving town to try to encourage people to give $100, $20, $5. Put it in an envelope. Send it to Community Lifeline, Post Office Box 339, Shelton, and help Community Lifeline buy that building before the church has to sell it to another entity, and this kind of shelter and program goes away.
KMAS thanks Father Joe for all the work he's done to help Shelton and the surrounding area. Veterans Day was yesterday, but the celebrations aren't over. Jim Good and Deb Kilcup stopped by Daybreak to talk about a free barbecue this weekend, sponsored by the Hood Sport Lions Club for current and former vets and their families.
We're going to give them food, and there's going to be a great program, a great speaker, a free raffle. Tickets will be given to everyone who comes with some great prizes.
Wow.
Last year, I am so proud to say that we had 2 World War II veterans there.
Wow.
And anyone who comes, if they would like to share their stories, they're surely welcome.
It's just a great opportunity for us to say thank you.
The free event kicks off at noon Saturday at the Hood Sport Fire Hall. Learn more about it by listening to the full interview on the Daybreak page at KMAS.com. I'm Mary Lynn Foster. Your local news at AM 1030 and FM 103.3 and always on KMAS.com.
Gillis Auto Center in Shelton. Best deals, best price, best trade, and low payments. And when you think selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs, think family-owned Gillis Auto Center with over 250 pre-owned vehicles available. Wait a minute. That's right, over 250 good, clean, used vehicles available. That's a huge selection. And right now at Gillis Auto Center, special interest rates and volume pricing, which means you save money. At the City Center Matlock exit and 24/7 at GillisAutoCenter.com.
The Chad Benson Show.
That's right. But you can't attack Trump and not expect to get hammered. And where the Republicans are missing this is he is paving the way to victory if they would just listen. He's giving them a rule book on how to play the media and, most importantly, how to handle crisis.
The Chad Benson Show.
Hi, this is Chad Benson. Please check out my show this afternoon from 3 to 6 on KMAS News Radio.
For News Radio, 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 103.3, and we are doing our little video and audio trick. Is that a podcast or?
No.
What are we?
So this is just, like right now we're just doing a radio show.
Yeah, KMAS.com.
And if you wanted, we don't do this, but sometimes you could take a copy of this and it would be a podcast.
Okay, and they could listen to it
at their leisure.
Yeah.
And you could even do a video podcast.
Sure.
Of that.
Yeah. Of this.
Of this. From that.
Okay. So, but we still are on the radio, right?
I think so. We're on the air this morning.
Thursday night football tonight. Pregame at 5:30 kick. It's the Bills and the Jets.
I gotta go
It's
with
Rex
the Bills.
Ryan's former team hosting Rex Ryan's current team.
Gotta go with the Bills.
Do you?
I can't pick
Your
for
wife
nothing.
is doing all
She's
the picking
picking. She's
now.
doing great.
Yeah, you're moving up in the rankings, I noticed, since she's gotten involved.
Yeah.
I don't have a picker.
Well, Jerry's right there.
She could care.
I mean,
she could give a care.
She very well could do better than you, though.
Well, everybody has done better than me.
Just let her
I am
try
rock
it.
solid, bottom of the barrel. I made some crazy picks this week because I'm desperate now. Desperate times call for desperate measures. So this next 8 weeks, look out. I'm either going to be zooming to the top of the charts or Evergreen men's soccer. Good congratulations to them. 3-0 over Carroll College yesterday. That moves Evergreen into the conference semifinals as they are continuing with their best record ever in men's soccer. They take on Rocky Mountain College at 4 o'clock this afternoon somewhere. And also St. Martin's men's basketball team starting their Northwest Athletic Conference Pac-West Conference Challenge this weekend. Best of luck to them. And Gonzaga kicks off their season this weekend, Saturday or Friday night. I can't remember now. But they're in Okinawa.
Yeah.
So
Friday. Here's why.
They're playing Pittsburgh.
UW is also in Okinawa. No, they're in China. University of Washington is in China.
Okay.
Because John and his beautiful bride Courtney are leaving there Monday, this upcoming Monday. So actually, I guess it's next week. They're in China.
Okay.
But he's like, we could go see the Huskies.
You'll be a little
when
bit
we're in
preoccupied,
China.
John.
I think he may be. He hasn't got. He
has
hasn't got
no
it
idea.
figured out yet.
You'll figure it out. Oh, very good. And other sports notes for you: the Cougs basketball team starting to crank up, and their coach now, Ernie Kent, and he's signed 2 players here in the offseason. Milan Aqua from Cathedral High School in Pasadena, 6'2" guard, and Jeff Pollard from Bountiful, Utah, 6'8" forward. Pollard starting his first season at Impact Academy in Las Vegas. Not quite. So these guys are still in school, high school, but they're signed to come on board next year. Ernie's got them under his tutelage. It's kind of like an appendage, but
the tutelage.
Mariners have re-signed outfielder Franklin Gutierrez to a 1-year contract after a surprisingly productive season last year. Major league contract for next year has Goody able to stay healthy and contribute. He hit .292 last year, had 15 long balls and 35 ribbies in 59 games with the Mariners, and we consider that a pretty productive year.
Yeah.
He missed 100 games, but in years past, he's missed more than that. He once was a Gold Glove winning center fielder and has been slowed by injuries and stomach issues that allowed him to only play 173 games in 3 seasons, 6 trips to the disabled list. So we hope for the very best for us and for him here moving forward. And Portland beat San Antonio. San Antonio beat Portland 113-101, but LaMarcus Aldridge scored 23 points returning to the Portland lineup for you Trailblazer fans out there.
Yeah.
Both of you.
All right, South forecast, lots of rain
Blazers
today. Go Blazers. 34 currently. Rain starts about 9:30 this morning, and a lot of it. By the end of the day, we're likely to see well over 2 inches of rain, and that's about the same as tomorrow as well. Holy moly, 50 degrees, 56 tomorrow, 50 back on Saturday. But between Thursday and Saturday, we'll do that. They'll call that 5 and another inch or so. So 5 3/4 inches between today and Saturday. That's a lot.
Anything left for Sunday's game?
It's Daybreak
nice
with
on
Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email or Facebook. Now, from the capital of the great state of Washington, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
All right, 6:40 here. Looking up the Twitter this morning, Mason County sheriffs sent out a message that hikers were reported missing on Mount Eleanor at 6:15 last night. They found him at 2:30 this morning.
Steve Andrewski, was it?
I don't think so.
He was up on Mount Eleanor yesterday taking pictures, yeah.
Oh, man. Well, there were some reporters, hikers reported missing. 6:15 last night. 2:30 this morning. Workers are working to get them down. That was a couple hours ago. We'll look for updates on that. I did not know that.
You know, it was as tempting as it was yesterday to go up there. There's a skiff of snow up on I mentioned that, how beautiful it looks. But here's the thing. Plan your trip so that you're off the trail by 4 or 4:30, because I was just mentioning to you, it was before 6 o'clock last night. It was dark. It was blackout. So you don't want to be up there on those trails. They're not, there's no lights, and so it gets dark, and it gets dark quick.
4:40 tonight is the sunset, but it does get dusk earlier than that. 4:20, it starts to get darker and darker here.
Right.
The sunrise is still not for a half an hour or so.
So, yep.
7:12.
Yep. Just be careful and plan ahead, and make sure that you're off the trailheads by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Play it safe.
Yeah. Speaking of, though, this front new building here, the old Mel Chevrolet building, looks real nice.
Yeah. So Mesa County's new search and rescue headquarters, they are loving it over there.
I bet they are.
Threw a coat of paint over the front of it.
A Seahawks tinge.
And they've got, a little Seahawk look to it. And inside, the old Chevrolet dealer there. And so they've got a lot of room to store their vehicles, to have, training sessions and that sort of thing. Really is going to work out well for them.
Yeah, all volunteers, those search and rescue folks, and man, my goodness.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool deal. Very cool deal, actually.
Tammy Newton's bringing in the new executive director for Habitat for Humanity, Marty Crow. Just about a half an hour from now, we'll be talking with them and see what else is going on. We'll focus on Shelton today. Not sure who the guest will be, but we'll have someone for sure to talk about things happening with the city.
And revisit our conversation with Aaron?
We can.
Yeah.
Just kind of seeing how we felt. How you and I were feeling today.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty much the only stipulation. Kind of a nice day when you can do that. KMAS.com has a little bit of local news for you, and many different sections of KMAS.com. There's the recreation under the news tab, the environmental news as well, which has a little bit of information from our conversation with Aaron about stormwater, any kind of rain that comes down onto the grounds and then runs off into the culverts and the side ditches and stuff like that. It gets all of our oils and dirts and Band-Aids, whatever's on the street will wash down in, and that's stormwater.
And that's not good.
And no, it does make a mess. And what's tough is finding, well, I told you, and if we'll probably play it, but you'll hear a story about my neighbors who I saw the other day pouring bleach on their driveway because instead of pressure washing. That's how it all started. I was pressure washing my driveway, and about a week later, I noticed what looked to be a pressure wash. The kind of the outline.
Yes.
As if maybe they did it half of the way and then stopped.
Right.
Well, it comes to find out they use bleach.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about that.
And so that's not, you should.
Now, they've got some concrete cleaner that has some bleach in it.
Yeah, but not like.
But it's not, and it's
like Clorox.
And you got to dilute it and mix it with water and that sort of thing. And I would like to think that it was environmentally okay after you do the proper mixing.
But I think this was like bleach right from the home goods section.
Right, which is
not diluted.
No,
it's powerful.
Not good for fishies.
No, not in the. You can't tell. That was one of the things that Aaron said, and you want to kind of try to figure out if there's ways we can fix this, but you can't tell where the pollution's coming from because it all kind of goes into central.
That's
drainage.
right. It gets into drainage. You don't know where it originates from. So everybody has to do their part and help out in this thing.
One of the biggest things is making sure you're not leaking oil. mean, if everybody did that, that'd be a big thing.
Always
also
check.
help your cars.
Always check. Yeah. Rhonda Rousey.
Yeah.
Is it Rousey?
Rousey is how
Rousey.
I say it.
Okay.
I don't know if it's true, though.
She is the toughest human being pound for pound on the planet, I think.
I would buy that.
And so she's defending her title against an Aussie, an Australian lady, this Saturday night. It's going to be a big fight, and it's going to be on the big screen out at Lucky Dog.
LD.
If you'd like to go see. Yep. And so she's been interviewed in a lot of magazines leading up to this next bout, and I read a fascinating story about her history and when she was growing up and all that sort of thing, and she's got the right perspective, but she's mean. Oh my goodness gracious! In that cage, look out below. Also, Tyler Lockett, one of many rookies in the NFL this year, is doing good. We'll tell you where he falls in the ranks of all the rookies in our sports, which is going to be coming up in a little while.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Hay rides are a favorite fall activity. Hi, I'm Jody Henke. When you're loading the hay rack for a tour of the pumpkin patch, make safety your top priority as you're living the country life.
Living the country life. Ideas and inspiration for your place in the country. You can find more information on today's topic and from previous shows by visiting us online at livingthecountrylife.com. We'll return to the show after these messages.
If your chicken coop is nicer than your garage, then you may have a passion for poultry. We are looking for some innovative, creative coops just like yours. Enter our Creative Coop Photo Contest brought to you by Cargill Neutrina today. 3 lucky coop owners will each receive free Cargill Neutrina Nature-Wise all-flock feed. There are many ways to enter. You can enter up to 5 photos online at livingthecountrylife.com/Creative Coop Contest or hashtag your Coop Photo Creative Coop Contest on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, or find us on our Facebook page at Living the Country Life. View our website to browse entries and get ideas for your own poultry palace at livingthecountrylife.com/Creative Coop Contest. No purchase necessary. Contest ends at 8:59 p.m. Central Time on December 31st, 2015. Subject to official rules at livingthecountrylife.com/Creative Coop. Void or prohibited. Sponsor Meredith Corporation. Enter your coop photos today at livingthecountrylife.com/Creative Coop Contest.
Who doesn't love a hay rack ride, especially in the fall? Farm safety specialist Bobby Grisso at Virginia Tech University says if you're offering hay rides, make sure the driver is responsible and skilled with tractor and wagon operation. There shouldn't be any extra riders on the tractor either. If the wagon doesn't have side rails or seats, provide a way for everyone to hang on.
A lot of times what I'll see is that hay is either in bales or just spread around on the wagon. And so remembering to keep some kind of format where people either can sit or have some handles to be able to hold on to means that the wagon has to be sturdy in the first place. So a good stable wagon is critical. One that's going to track behind the tractor without getting too much straying back and forth.
Grisso says only one wagon should be pulled. Don't attach multiple wagons because that results in what he calls a snaking effect. Before the rides begin, inspect the tractor and wagon to be sure they're operating correctly. Also, check the hitch and safety chains. Provide an efficient way to load and unload riders without anyone falling. Once they're on the hay rack, go over a few safety pointers, such as no horsing around.
A little bit of information for the crowd and keeping them on the wagon, making sure that they don't throw things out, throw things in, making sure that nobody smokes during the hayride is a critical item. The other thing that is probably often forgotten is that a lot of people do carry cameras and camcorders, and especially on a dark night, that can actually blind your operator if you happen to get them into the light.
Sometimes a driver will turn off all lights on the tow vehicle to enhance the atmosphere. Not a good idea if there's other traffic nearby. Find more tips for keeping your hayride safe at livingthecountrylife.com. I'll see you in the country.
Living the Country Life. Ideas and inspiration for your place in the country. You can find more information on today's topic, share your tips, and post photos by visiting us online.
Mason County Garbage and Recycling on Johns Prairie here in Shelton is pleased to offer safe and efficient removal services. Mason County Garbage and Recycling is always mindful of environmental standards and is continuously striving for the highest excellence. Mason County Garbage and Recycling, upholding your trust within the community. Questions? Call 426-8729. In Belfair, 275-4590.
Habitat for Humanity of Mason County invites you to shop their local retail stores in Belfair and in Shelton. At Habitat for Humanity stores, you'll find amazing bargains on discounted home improvement supplies, gently used furniture, and so much more. And when you shop Habitat for Humanity, your dollars are put to work helping to improve, build, and maintain affordable housing right here in Mason County. Habitat for Humanity. Let's build a strong community together.
That's why I don't make much time down there. Good morning to you. It's Daybreak here. KMAS, KMAS.com. Looks like student athletes are pledging and writing letters of pledge to different colleges as they get ready. I'm just looking at a picture on from T-Bird Hoops.
Yeah.
One of the players, I guess, for Tumwater. That's what it is, letters for intent.
Yeah, they can do that now. And fortunately, I don't hold high school kids, feet to the fire on this thing, but they can announce their intention to go to a certain school and wear that hat or whatever. And for the most part, they usually stay with their decisions, but they're young kids, and sometimes they'll change their mind between now and when they graduate.
Yeah, it happens.
There is one particular deadline, and I don't recall what it is, but where they do have to kind of, they make the decision, they got to stay with it. But that's where they sign their literal letter of intent. But they can make announcements. They can announce their intent now. I mentioned Tyler Lockett, and I brought him up. There's a big list, and it's a moving list every week of how the rookies rank, depending on how they did that last week. So it's a real fluid list.
Yeah, okay.
Like, for instance, Marcus Mariota went from 14th on the list all the way up to number 6 this last week because he had a good week last week. So right now, Tyler Lockett is at number 29 on the list of all the rookies in the NFL this year. And he was at 21 last week. He's gone down a little quiet, but once he makes one of these big run backs again, or catches a long pass for a touchdown, he'll be right back up to the top 10 again. I bring up Tyler Lockett because he's an exciting new player, and he's a rookie. And he's fulfilling all of our expectations, and he's going to be in Olympia. At Olympia Furniture, they have they've got couches and big boy chairs, seats for your living room. Seahawk furniture. They've got the Seahawk logo on them.
I've heard those commercials.
And they're pretty impressive.
I'm trying to get the website to load up here. I'm just trying to get any website to load up right now. So
somehow, some way, they've got Tyler coming down to visit at the store.
That's pretty cool.
Here in the next week or two. We'll get it dialed in for you, and we'll be sure to let you know, because that's pretty exciting. And what a refreshing young man he is. He's pretty cool. So, and hopefully he'll be like in the top 10 of rookies by the time he gets to the Ole Furniture.
Well,
and he'll need to sit down and relax for a while.
We'll be afterwards for sure.
Yeah.
You have taken your grandkids on that drone. No, not the drone.
On the big wheel that got hit by the drone.
Yeah, it says yesterday.
Hate that.
A flying drone hit the giant Ferris wheel at the waterfront. They obviously had to shut the whole thing down.
Yeah.
Strike 4:45. Officers arrived at the observation deck. They looked for possible damage and confiscated the aircraft. No injuries or damages. And they don't know who was operating it.
No, that's the thing. The operator got away. The drone, when it hit the wheel, fell and crashed through a picnic table that was down below. So that's how much weight and velocity that thing had. Excuse me. Well, after it hit the Ferris wheel, it dropped right through, crushed a picnic table that was down below. So it could have been a tragic incident.
Yeah.
And doggone drone operators use some common sense.
Looking back in the history of drone strikes. They're fairly uncommon.
Yeah.
The cops are thinking they can only recall one of them as a drone crashed into a downtown building and then struck a 25-year-old lady at at the Seattle Pride Parade this summer. That was another incident that happened.
Yeah.
In that accident, the incident was charged with reckless endangerment. But again, they don't know who did this one. And that's so what do? You go, boy, $150, $200 for a new drone, or now I have to come forward and get arrested.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll find this person? I mean, how do you find it? There's serial numbers?
I don't. Maybe they can track the sale, but that doesn't necessarily guarantee that was the operator.
Right.
So that's going to be this is going to be an ongoing thing until there's a handle on drones. And all I can see is that there's going to be more and more of them all the time.
Well, you go to the mall and
one guy in your neighborhood.
Everywhere.
Oh, that's you.
That's me. Yeah. I mean, I'm always out droning on about something.
But yours is a tiny little thing.
Oh, it's very tiny.
And it doesn't have a lot of, I mean, some of these newer ones have farther distances that you can operate them from.
The place. And I get it's hard to maneuver these things.
Yeah, you got to practice a lot,
and then
right?
If you're only looking at through the camera, like through the video camera, if the drone even has a camera, they can send the video to your remote control.
Yeah.
So if you're too busy just watching like we do now, texting.
See what they see, yeah.
Texting, we don't look up. And now the next thing you know, it hits the wheel.
Yeah. Yeah. So yikes.
The website finally came up for Olympia Furniture Company.
Okay.
But we're just about out of time.
Aww.
We have a CNBC business report coming up in about a half a minute here.
Okay.
And then Tammy Newton. But there is Tyler Lockett is coming to the furniture company, and we'll get some great information on that for you.
Yeah.
Go meet him.
Pretty exciting.
Probably sign one of those seats if you buy one.
Oh, I'm sure. If you buy one
out
that
here,
day
too.
when he's there,
Yeah.
I would have it signed.
They deliver out here. I saw.
Well, you
not
could be a
only
Hall of Famer someday.
in the commercials they talk about delivering here in Mason County, but I've seen trucks on the road. So cool stuff.
Yep.
All right, 6:57. Eastside firefighters up in Seattle delivered a baby this morning. It looks like they couldn't get to the hospital just in time, so they stopped at the Eastside Fire Hall and
help.
Yeah, got that going on. Huh, pretty cool stuff.
They named the baby Sparky.
Sparky. What else happened yesterday? Jeb Bush got endorsed by old Senator Bob Dole. And I didn't realize this. I was watching Rachel Maddow last night, and she was playing some old clips of 88 and politics back then. It was just as bad as it is now. But George H.W. and Bob Dole, they hated each other.
They got into it, didn't they?
They did.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
I'm Chris Maurer, CNBC Business Radio. Stocks are lower under pressure from mining and energy companies, also concerning traders. A report from the labor market indicating jobless claims were flat last week at a healthy level. And that could mean the Federal Reserve would begin raising interest rates next month. The Dow's down 159 points, the Nasdaq lower by 21. Coal stock is rising after reporting better than expected earnings. Sales in stores open at least a year rose 1% compared with a year earlier decline of 1.8%. Shares of Rolls-Royce are sharply lower after issuing another profit warning, its fifth in 18 months. And the maker of luxury cars and aircraft engines says it may cut its dividend. Liberty Media is planning to raise capital by reclassifying its stock into 3 separate groups. Chris Maurer, CNBC Business Radio.
Are you ready to take your diabetes management to the next level? Put the Contour Next meter to the test and challenge your meter. The Contour Next meter makes testing easy and highly accurate with close to lab level results. And Contour Next gives you a second chance, allowing you to reapply to the same strip when the first sample is not enough, saving you time and money. So take the challenge. Go to ContourNextChallenge.com, get a free meter, and enter to win free test strips. Find Contour Next at your local Leader Pharmacy.
There are no guarantees in love, but there is a guarantee from EH Plus by eHarmony, our new personal matchmaking service. At EH Plus, your own personal matchmaker gets to know you so well we can guarantee introductions that will be satisfying and exciting. EH Plus goes far beyond regular online dating sites, and that's a guarantee. Visit us at ehplus.com/love or call 1-855-930-LOVE.
KMAS Shelton is now everywhere you are. AM 1030, FM 1033, and online at KMAS.com.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Karen Chase. Flashes of laser beams lit up the cockpits of 2 commercial planes landing in Dallas and 3 news helicopters over New York and New Jersey. One chopper pilot zoomed in on the license plate of the suspected flasher.
If we could get the cops over here, that'd be awesome, because we got them dead to rights.
An arrest was made, and the FAA is investigating, but ABC's Jim Ryan tells us it's a growing problem.
The Federal Aviation Administration takes about 10 reports a day of laser pointer incidents involving aircraft. There have been no documented crashes as a result, but some pilots have needed medical attention after landing. And the FBI offers hefty rewards for information about offenders.
Surveillance video of that Ohio small plane crash into an apartment complex is being examined by NTSB investigators. They also recovered the plane's black box. All 9 people aboard were killed. The numbers don't lie. American waistlines are getting bigger, even though people ought to know better. ABC's Scott Goldberg has the numbers.
We've known for a while now obesity is a problem in America.
We're asking folks all across the country to give me 5 ways they're leading a healthy life.
It's been the First Lady's signature initiative.
Let's move.
And if there's any decent news in the CDC's biennial National Health and Nutrition Survey, it's that the obesity rate for younger Americans, ages 2 through 19, has held steady over the last decade at 17%. But for American adults, the obesity rate is 38%, up 2% from 2 years ago, up 6 points from a decade ago. Scott Goldberg, ABC News.
Child welfare officials are reviewing a ruling by a juvenile court judge in Utah ordering a baby to be taken from its lesbian foster parents and placed with a heterosexual couple. The Division of Child and Family Services says the ruling raises concerns. Walmart hopes to cut down on Black Friday mayhem by promising to offer 96% of its doorbuster deals online, too, and through its app. Plymouth Bay Winery in Massachusetts has found a way to add some bang to your bagel by including wine in your breakfast. It's rolling out an entire line of wine-infused jelly, saying it's 5 o'clock somewhere. This is ABC News.
Well, son, we did it. We opened our very own private storage IRA with the Gold Silver Group.
You mean the Gold and Silver IRA that you can store privately?
Yes. We called the Gold Silver Group, and they were great. They explained all our options. The Gold Silver Group has 3 simple steps that made it easy. They gave us the best prices, and now we have our IRA Gold and Silver in our hands. We even qualified for an extra $700 in free silver.
Okay, Dad, now you've got my attention.
You insure your house, the car, the kids, your health, and even a dog. Don't you think it's time to insure your wealth?
Call 800-943-0812. Learn how easy it is to set up your own private storage IRA and how to qualify for up to $700 in free silver. Protect your portfolio. Diversify with Gold and Silver. Have your Gold and Silver IRA privately delivered to your door, fully insured. For the best service and best prices, call Gold Silver Group. 800-943-0812. 800-943-0812.
If you're in the market for a new car, Kelley Blue Book is out with its list of best buys. ABC's Mark Rimmelard has it.
When buying a car, you want the best bang for your buck, and according to Kelley Blue Book, that's a Honda Civic.
The 2016 Honda Civic really is a revelation.
Jack Nerad is KBB's executive editorial director and says the car's been redesigned with a lot of improvements.
All new powertrain that is terrific. Both great fuel economy and great responsiveness.
For luxury, KBB says Mercedes C-Class is best. Ford's F-150 took the best truck, and if you're looking for speed, the 2016 Corvette is KBB's top pick for a sports car. Mark Rimmelard, ABC News.
A new discovery is leading scientists to think the universe is even bigger. Stargazers have discovered a new dwarf planet even farther away than Pluto. They've even given it a catchy name, V774104. It measures between 500 and 1,000 kilometers in diameter, about a third the size of Pluto. It'll take about a year to get a fix on its orbit and determine its significance. Karen Chase, ABC News.
Local news is brought to you by Shelton Health and Rehabilitation Center. Find them online at sheltonhealthandrehab.com.
You're listening to KMAS News Radio. I'm Mary Lynn Foster. Electricity was restored to the Bayshore and Johns Prairie areas just after 11 yesterday morning. PUD3 crews worked quickly to make repairs after a tree fell across power lines just north of Shelton on Highway 3. It ripped down lines from several spans of poles. tore through fiber optic cables, and damaged electrical equipment. There's a planned power outage in the Camilchi Point area today to allow for the safe removal of several trees on southeast Camilchi Point Road. Father Joe Michael from the St. David Wales Episcopal Church visited Daybreak yesterday to say goodbye. Father Joe has been part of St. David's congregation for many years now and has spent countless hours helping those in the community who are struggling. And he made an impassioned request.
A Community Lifeline is an agency here in town we've been supporting, really the only building in town to shelter the homeless in a transitional kind of way. And so we're selling that building. The church itself is selling that building because small church, small congregation, aging congregation can't afford to maintain that 1926 building. So anybody who can hear my voice, I got a campaign. I'm leaving town to try to encourage people to give $100, $20, $5. Put it in an envelope. Send it to Community Lifeline, Post Office Box 339, Shelton, and help Community Lifeline buy that building before the church has to sell it to another entity and this kind of shelter and program goes away.
KMAS thanks Father Joe for all the work he's done to help Shelton and the surrounding area. Veterans Day was yesterday, but the celebrations aren't over. Jim Good and Deb Kilcup stopped by Daybreak to talk about a free barbecue this weekend, sponsored by the Hood Sport Lions Club for current and former vets and their families.
We're going to give them food, and there's going to be a great program, a great speaker, a free raffle. Tickets will be given to everyone who comes with some great prizes.
Wow.
Last year, I am so proud to say that we had 2 World War II veterans there. Anyone who comes, if they would like to share their stories, they're surely welcome.
It's just a great opportunity for us to say thank you.
The free event kicks off at noon Saturday at the Hood Sport Fire Hall. Learn more about it by listening to the full interview on the Daybreak page at KMAS.com. I'm Mary Lynn Foster. Your local news at AM 1030 and FM 103.3 and always on KMAS.com.
Calling all alphas, Cigar Dave is on Sundays from 3 to 5.
The fundamental reason that people smoke cigars is because they enjoy premium hand-rolled cigars. They enjoy the taste, they enjoy the flavor, they enjoy the camaraderie, and they will not allow the enemies of pleasure, whether the enemy of pleasure be the government, whether it be a local city council, they will not allow the enemies of pleasure to take away their right to enjoy a fine premium cigar, a passion that is near and dear to many alphas. And many dames as well.
I'm attorney Harold Carr. During the past 25 years, more than 8,000 people have trusted me to handle their personal injury cases. I understand how an injury can disrupt your life and cause financial hardship for you and your family. At the law firm of Harold Carr, we have 5 attorneys and 19 staff members experienced with negotiating and litigating with insurance companies. So if you feel the insurance company is not dealing with you fairly, call me, Harold Carr. Let us deal with the insurance company so you won't have to.
Car accident? Call Carr or visit us online at haroldcarrattorney.com.
Jordan and Aldridge return to play former teams, and Golden State still perfect. Hi, everybody. Todd Ant reporting on sports. Making his first appearance in Dallas since agreeing to a free agent contract, then blowing off the Mavericks over the summer.
At center in his 8th season from Texas A&M, number 60, Andre Jordan.
As expected from the Dallas crowd, but as for the game...
Nowitzki for 3. Banks it in! Dirk Nowitzki from downtown!
On ESPN, 31 points for Nowitzki. Dallas 118-108 over the Clippers. Another ridiculous shot by Stephen Curry in Memphis.
Stolen by Curry. Curry gets it from midcourt, pulls up for a 3 on the way. Got it! Curry nailed it! He hit a 3 at the buzzer!
On KNBR, Golden State still perfect at 9-0 with a 100-84 breezer over the Grizzlies. In Portland,
Kawhi Leonard took a very tough fall after that dunk.
On ESPN, the Spurs pick up a 113-101 road victory over the Trailblazers. Ex-Blazer LaMarcus Aldridge scored 23 points against his former team. A buzzer beater in Orlando.
Tobias looks at Peyton, now throws into Vooch. He'll turn, he'll fire the 20-footer. It's good! Nick Vucevic drains the jumper at the buzzer. Ball game, let's go home.
On WDBO, the Magic win 101-99 over the Lakers. Denver's Kenneth Faried found a nugget with seconds to go.
Gallows at the elbow, step through the defenders, forced along two. It's an air ball, tipped up and in by Faried. And the Nuggets are back in the lead by 1 with 5 seconds to go.
On KKFN, the Nuggets edged Milwaukee 103-102. Not only did the Brooklyn Nets win their first game of the season, they did it in Houston, 106-98 over the Rockets. Meanwhile, the 76ers remain winless at 0-8 after dropping a 119-103 decision to the Raptors in Philadelphia. On the injury front, the Nuggets lose their forward, Wilson Chandler, for the season with a hip injury. And soccer's governing body, FIFA, approves 5 candidates for president. The election takes place in February. Todd Ant, ABC Sports.
For News Radio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 103.3 and KMAS.com, where you'll find us audio and video this morning. We're in living color. I'm Dale Hubbard, 7:10 in the morning. And headlines from Seahawkville this morning. Pete Carroll, quote, "I've never seen Carson play better." Carson Palmer, former quarterback for Pete Carroll at USC.
Oh, I like Carson Palmer. They're doing great.
Shut up.
They are, though.
Well, our defense will have something to say about that this Sunday.
That's fine.
Maybe. Fingers crossed. Blitz happy Cardinal D will give Wilson fits. Actually, the headline is Dooms Wilson. So
they blitz a lot?
They blitz a lot. Yeah. So could be running for his life. I have to say, offensive line has been playing a lot better the last couple of weeks. So, and good news here for you this morning. This Sunday, the 12th flag going to be raised by, I never find out who it's going to be before it happens. It seems like.
Yeah, you've got this?
So I've got this, and for good reason. Will be raised by Congressional Gold Medal honoree Clayton Pitre. I hope I've got his name right. Petrie, P-I-T-R-E, Petrie. 91-year-old World War II veteran. Oh, wow. Congressional Gold Medal honoree will raise the 12th flag Sunday, part of the Salute to Service game for the Seahawks this Sunday night. What a great honor for him, and you think there'll be a few folks cheering?
Yeah. Wow.
That'll be awesome. 91. That will be awesome. All right, other sports notes here for you. But tonight we've got Thursday night football. The Buffalo Bills are at the New York Jets. Pregame at 5, and the kickoff scheduled for 5:30. Saturday night football action for you as the Cougs travel south to Los Angeles for a big nationally televised game. 5:30 pregame, kickoff scheduled for 7:45 in the evening. And then the Hawks Sunday night matchup, prime time as well. Arizona Cardinals, #1 in the NFC West, looking to unseat the NFC champs, the Seattle Seahawks. We'll see how that all plays out, won't we? 3 o'clock, the pregame, 5:25 for the kickoff. And that is sports this time around. Just like you with the weather forecast.
I'm trying to find a key point to when this rain will really start coming on down. I'm getting reports from folks that rain is kind of hitting
a little
now, but I think it'll really start to get pretty bad by 1:30 this afternoon.
Okay.
And the wind will really pick up noonish, maybe even a little earlier than that. 2 inches today and 2 1/4 inches tomorrow. 3/4 of an inch on Saturday. So that's 3, 4, 5 inches of rain between now, because it is starting to rain a little, and by Saturday night.
Okay.
Sunday looks good, though. 2/10 of an inch of rain, but otherwise partly cloudy, because Monday we're going to get another inch.
So this will be a pause between systems on Sunday. Be a decent day.
And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, another system in town, and then Saturday, Sunday, Monday is when another one rolls through.
Oh, my goodness.
I'll check the snow in the mountains. 34 here right now.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email or Facebook. Now from the shores of Hood Canal, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
All right, just a couple minutes from now, we're going to be talking with Tammy Newton and the new Executive Director for Habitat for Humanity of Mason County, Marty Crow.
Yep.
Be a great conversation. Get to know him and see what Tammy's been up to the last week or so. Get a lot of people like, boy, she's got a great voice.
Oh, I know.
Boy, that was nice. It was fun listening to her. She's got a great voice.
Why doesn't Dale just stay off the air?
Well, they weren't saying that kind of stuff.
She's
close here.
She is getting, she's coming in.
Yeah, on Coda Street.
I can hear her muffler.
Is that what that is?
3 Washington teenagers now charged with kidnapping the elderly woman and stuffing her in the trunk of her car, then driving more than 200 miles to a Walmart near Portland. Tri-City Herald reporting 16-year-old, the great-grandson of the lady, has been charged as an adult in the November 2nd incident, and as well he should. At 16, he should know better. He obviously had no care about her safety or her whatever, so have fun in prison, young man.
Some news out of Auburn this morning. Investigators suspect arson as a recent string of fires, significant damage.
Wow.
11 fires since early October. Police are saying those are suspicious. And a fire on Monday.
And they're still looking for somebody.
Still looking. Monday, there was a fire. It forced 3 folks from their home. And that's just the latest. Police searching for a suspect. All right, we'll be right back.
Tammy and Marty shows.
Yeah, we'll get them in here to talk about some stuff on Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Do you have a teenage son with a hollow leg and 2 stomachs? Has your husband ever cleaned out the fridge for a snack? Are you hosting a group of ex-wrestlers for poker night? Then this is the pizza for you. Papa Murphy's 5-meat stuffed pizza, pepperoni, Canadian bacon, crispy bacon, Italian sausage and ground beef, stuffed between 2 layers of scratch-made dough. Home bake a large Papa Murphy's 5-meat stuffed pizza, $13. Fresh made, fresh baked. Papa Murphy's, love at 425 degrees.
My Mason Health gives you free online access to your personal health record from anywhere in the world, 24/7. Now you can go online to book or change your doctor's appointments, review your doctor visit summaries, message your provider care team, access test results, and more. Wherever you have an internet connection, you can access your secure online health record from home, work, even on vacation. And you are in control of who sees it. Ask how you can get connected with My Mason Health at your next hospital or clinic visit.
Mason General Hospital and family of clinics. Equal opportunity provider, translation services provided.
Mason General and family of clinics.
Take KMAS wherever you go with our new free KMAS mobile app. It's a free download from either your Apple or Android device. Check out the latest news and even listen wherever you have a signal. Search KMAS in your app store and download our free KMAS app today.
This is retired Air Force Colonel Sam Severe, and you're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
All right, good morning to you. It's Daybreak here at KMAS, KMAS.com. We've got Tammy Newton in studio. She's the former executive director of the Habitat for Humanity of Mason County. She's brought in the new.
Yeah, her replacement.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully Marty's excited too.
I'm very excited.
Awesome.
Well, good morning to you both. So no bad blood then, I guess, Tammy, if you're bringing him in here.
He's probably very thankful for Marty. Marty Crow, and welcome and good morning.
Terrific. Thank you.
Yeah, well, it's our pleasure, absolutely, and always a pleasure to have Tammy on the air with us.
Thank you. You're in my
So,
seat, though.
I'm in Tammy's seat. First thing she said to me this morning when she got here, "You sit in my seat." So, did you have a good time?
I had a great time.
You sounded
I
like
did.
you were
And
having
it was
fun.
Kismet. It was meant to be because we had a great conversation with Bud Blake and talked about really what Thurston's been doing with homelessness and veterans and the different, it was meant to be. Jeff and I were talking about that after the show that
Isn't
day.
that
So
something?
going to meet with his office, going to take Tom Davis with me on the 23rd. And
Terrific.
yeah,
There you
so
go.
it was meant to be. So
That
thank
was
you for
good.
the opportunity. It was
Oh,
great.
My timing was impeccable.
Yeah, that did work out.
As usual.
Marty, tell us a little bit about yourself. What's
Yeah.
your greatest weakness? No, I'm just kidding.
No. No more interviews. No tough interviews.
Greatest weakness is going to interviews.
Yeah.
So,
Where you from?
where are you from?
Yeah.
I'm actually from here in Shelton. Graduated Shelton High School. I've been living here most of my life. Graduated from St. Martin's College in Lacey and raised my children here in Shelton. And my wife is also from Shelton and Mason County.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's great to come back home. I've been working up and down the West Coast for the last 15 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
And it's great to come home and get an opportunity to help serve our community. And I'm very excited about the things that Habitat does, serving families here in the community, really focused on families and faith-based development of homes for people in need. So I'm encouraged by that, and I'm really excited by the involvement I've seen from the community and the team at Habitat just over the last 5 to 7 days that I've been there. It's amazing. It's amazing the amount of people that are committed to this organization and the community as a whole. So I've got big shoes to fill. Although the ones that I have to fill, I think have stiletto heels.
They do.
So
They do. I left a pair for a week just so he'd
work
keep
your
it.
ankles out so
That's
you can
right.
keep those in shape.
Yeah.
To wear those things.
So up and down the West Coast, what were you working on, and how did that tie into kind of coming back here to Habitat?
Well, most of my experience is in manufacturing. I started out as a finance accounting guy for some manufacturing companies. Started out in Simpson here, actually, for a number of years with the sawmills division, working in finance and accounting, and then moved to a company in Seattle, which led me to another company that moved me into California. So I worked out of the Bay Area for the last 7 or 8 years. Always kept my family here. We made a commitment as a family.
You're not a 49ers fan, are you?
No, not at all.
all right.
Not at all. I was able to keep our family here, my wife and my children. So my children graduated Shelton High School.
Yeah.
It was a commitment to commute, but we accomplished it. We were successful. Kids are doing well. So I'm excited to come back home, stay home, and be able to work here in the community.
Yeah.
So
Well, and it's exciting how you sort of stumbled into nonprofit too, because you attended a local event, right? And we're having a conversation with someone, and they kind of made the recommendation. I mean, talk about Kismet again, things kind of
Yeah.
falling into line.
Yeah, it was very interesting. And just actually a couple of months ago, it was a lady from WorkSource. We got to talking about what I've done and my experience, my leadership background. And I've been in operations for many years. I've led many teams, operational teams from engineering to quality to supply chain. And she said, have you ever thought about not-for-profit? And I said, never even considered it. And after getting to know Tammy and some of the organization at Habitat, when the position came open, I actually sort of jumped at it.
Yeah.
And Tammy was a little shocked. She's like, I thought you were kind of a smart guy. What are you coming?
I didn't say that. I didn't accuse you of that.
No, but she and I had some discussions which really helped me understand better what's going on and what opportunities there are and how I may be able to help the organization. So I'm encouraged by that. I think some strong leadership and some guidance through some potential changes in the way we go about doing what we do, and that is putting people in homes. So that's encouraging. I think the board's motivated. We've got a lot of people on the team, as I said, that are ultra committed to the organization. So that's good to see.
Great team.
I know you've got lots of plans were in the works, and future was kind of laid out a little bit that you're probably just now getting tuned into all that stuff, but not only just single family dwellings, but some multi-family dwellings possibly.
Some opportunities, rehabbing, which is something we've been talking about for a while.
Rehabbing
So,
homes,
you know,
yeah.
hoping that Marty will be able to advance the ball on that one a little bit so they can, I got to get used to saying so they can, do more, hopefully with less and more quickly in house families. So as we know, we've got a significant need in Mason
The
County.
sooner the better. So so now update us all, Tammy, on your latest responsibilities with the county.
Yeah, so I'm with the county now, and last time I was here, I was the homeless and affordable housing coordinator, working point 6, but actually we're going to add another day into housing and another day into working with mental health, which is very much tied. I'm sure Sheriff Salisbury's talked about the extent.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So very much tied together. So I'll be full-time at the county as the Human Services Coordinator.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
so very excited about that.
Yeah.
So that'll be working with the Housing Coalition, and Marty actually made it to the Housing Coalition meeting this week, which is very exciting. Yeah, and looking to see what we can do to bring more money into the county, what opportunities we have since we're so rural, and really sort of expanding opportunities for us when it comes to housing.
Well, it is. It's probably a kind of a puzzle fit here with you taking a position into the housing area of the county. And you heading up now Habitat for Humanity, and you can always use a little help from the government entities as well.
Absolutely.
And again, we always want to give people an opportunity to participate and get involved and find out more. You've got the 2 retail stores, one in Belfair and one here in Shelton, of course. You're always ongoing and building and looking for volunteers to help man the stores and people to help build the homes
and do some repairs.
Yeah, and we have a combination of new construction. We also have a Brush with Kindness, which is an activity that helps people that need repair to their homes. A lot of things that we do relative to that are building ramps for people that need access to their homes. So that's a really exciting project that's ongoing, and we have a big backlog of people looking for support in that area. So there's always a need for volunteers to help us there.
Yeah.
All they have to do is
come to our Shelton store. We can actually go to our website, but our Shelton store, we have a volunteer coordinator there that can help them fill out the application. Okay. And then our coordinator also work with them to get them scheduled based on their skill set. And it can be anything from helping at the store, as you said, both in Belfair and Shelton, and all the way to Brush with Kindness, which is kind of a 1 to 2 day project, to working in our homes that can take several months.
Yeah, so lots of opportunities for folks.
Absolutely.
Oh, definitely.
And very rewarding.
Yeah, and I'll even put a pitch in the county. We'll need volunteers. We do our annual point in time count in January. So I'll be talking with you guys about that, I hope, in the near future.
Okay.
Point in time count is something that all counties are required to do, which is count our homeless population to see where we are and if we're improving or if we're having a little bit of a backslide. And we're going to make some additional efforts this year to get out and reach out to the people where they are. So that means that we've got some great volunteers and some great folks that are former service members that are going to head out into the woods with us, because we know we have a large population. Our sheriff and our police departments know where those encampments are. A lot of times in the past, much of what we've done is have people come to us with a stand down here in Shelton, and then we have also done the meals at St. David's. We'll still do those, but we're going to see if we can get a better count, a more accurate count, because as wonderful as Mason Transit is, it's still a challenge for folks to get in, especially those that are in Cushman, Hoodsport, sometimes even Belfair. So we're going to do our darndest to do the best that we can, get a better, more accurate count, and see what we can do to get more resources into the county to help us with our homeless problem.
Just yesterday, Veterans Day was yesterday, and there was a story out of Kitsap County this morning looking at getting rid of homelessness for veterans by next Veterans Day. So they are thinking that there is about, after a survey, which are not 100% accurate, about 45 vets living in unsuitable conditions. That's in Kitsap County. Do you have any idea of what it's like here?
We really don't.
Okay.
I mean, our count was so low. We spoke with folks from Patty Murray's office and also from the Veterans Administration, because it wasn't jiving with what the folks in the service community know. And so our service community was saying we have more than, and I want to say if you pull up the numbers from last year, it might have said 11, but I've been looking at all the data and I'm updating the homeless plan, our homeless and housing strategy. So we know that it's different. But what we also know that's very interesting is that veterans do not necessarily claim to be veterans if they have not been in combat. And so when you are speaking with veterans and completing the survey, it's a lot of it is how you ask the question, which is why it's so important to have former service members as part of that, because they will know to ask, they can tell by body language there is a culture, and they can ask better questions like, where was your training?
Right.
So many female veterans do not consider themselves veterans, and many veterans who did not serve in a combat theater, right, do not consider themselves veterans, and so that'll adjust the count as well.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
We didn't either.
Marty, is there a lot of help available that the veterans it can do to help with Habitat for Humanity?
Absolutely. We've been working with a local veteran mentor that's really motivated to get more veterans in helping our stores and also in the construction projects. One thing I wanted to mention is Tammy and the organization of Habitat are close to completing, or we as a team are close to completing our house number 24, and we plan to put the family in that house just a couple of weeks before Christmas.
Awesome.
So it's a very exciting time for Habitat. That's, it's the fruition of a big project that's taken several months, many months to build. The entire team is excited that we get to put a family in the house before Christmas, and that dedication is scheduled for about 3 weeks out. So we're excited to work with the community to get support for that and bring the family into a new home.
How
exciting. It's always a big celebration. So you'll be sending out, and watch the Habitat Facebook pages and all of that good stuff, because you guys always have a big event. It's open to everyone. Love to have media there. If you know any media people, Dale, we love to have media there.
I'll look through my Rolodex and see if I can find
excellent.
And it's usually a moving experience, not literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
And also we'll get you in, Marty, at a later subsequent date from today, and talk a little bit about how people can go through that process to qualify, and talk about the sweat equity and the whole program again, because we have to revisit that frequently enough to get your funnel filled up at the top end there. So
yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
be happy to come in.
Yeah, we will. Well, you've got an invitation. We'll get you that. We get that all squared away here. Well, we're going to make way for some news now, though. But welcome aboard.
Yes.
Not really welcome to town since you're a resident, but welcome aboard, Marty Crow, new executive director of the Mason County Habitat for Humanity.
And I think his radio voice is great.
He does good.
Yeah, he did great.
There's a lot of replacement parts circulating around this community.
Thank you very much for having me in.
Yeah, you did a great job, Marty. Thank you,
Marty, so much. Absolutely. Tammy, as always, a pleasure.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for brightening our morning at 7:30. Time for news and more. Daybreak on the way.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Local news is brought to you by Fred Holmes Tree Service. FredHolmesTreeService.com, 427-4489.
You're listening to KMAS News Radio. I'm Marilyn Foster. Electricity was restored to the Bay Shore and Johns Prairie areas just after 11 yesterday morning. PUD 3 crews worked quickly to make repairs after a tree fell across power lines just north of Shelton on Highway 3. It ripped down lines from several spans of poles, tore through fiber optic cables, and damaged electrical equipment. There's a planned power outage in the Camilchi Point area today to allow for the safe removal of several trees on southeast Camilchi Point Road. Father Joe Michael from the St. David Wales Episcopal Church visited Daybreak yesterday to say goodbye. Father Joe has been part of St. David's congregation for many years now and has spent countless hours helping those in the community who are struggling. And he made an impassioned request.
Community Lifeline is an agency here in town we've been supporting, really the only building in town to shelter the homeless in a transitional kind of way. And so we're selling that building. The church itself is selling that building because small church, small congregation, aging congregation can't afford to maintain that 1926 building. So anybody who can hear my voice, I got a campaign. I'm leaving town to try to encourage people to give $100, $20, $5. Put it in an envelope. Send it to Community Lifeline, Post Office Box 339, Shelton, and help Community Lifeline buy that building before the church has to sell it to another entity, and this kind of shelter and program goes away.
KMAS thanks Father Joe for all the work he's done to help Shelton and the surrounding area. Veterans Day was yesterday, but the celebrations aren't over. Jim Good and Deb Kilcup stopped by Daybreak to talk about a free barbecue this weekend, sponsored by the Hood Sport Lions Club for current and former vets and their families.
We're going to give them food, and there's going to be a great program, a great speaker, a free raffle. Tickets will be given to everyone who comes with some great prizes.
Wow.
Last year, I am so proud to say that we had 2 World War II veterans there. anyone who comes, if they would like to share their stories, they're surely welcome.
It's just a great opportunity for us to say thank you.
The free event kicks off at noon Saturday at the Hood Sport Fire Hall. Learn more about it by listening to the full interview on the Daybreak page at KMAS.com. I'm Mary Lynn Foster, your local news at AM 1030 and FM 103.3, and always on KMAS.com.
Is your family doing some growing? Whether it's an expansion of your home or the addition of a new family car, Peninsula Credit Union can provide fast, friendly service with terrific rates. We offer personal lines of credit, affordable auto loans, and a variety of home loan options to get you moving. Visit our offices in Shelton, Belfair, Paulsbo, Port Orchard, and Port Townsend, or go online to pcfcu.org. At Peninsula Credit Union, our priority is you.
It's about your life and your money. It's the Dave Ramsey Show.
How do you find the best realtor to sell a home? Well, I can tell you how you don't find them. They're not the friend of your mother. They're not somebody you ran into once at the grocery store who said they just got the real estate license. And you got to have somebody that can handle people and handle difficult situations and walk you through this thing and help you understand exactly what the offer means when the offer does come in. And you got to have a real pro. Hi, this is Dave Ramsey. Tune into my show weekdays from noon to 3 here on KMAS.
Tune in all season long to NFL Insider on Westwood One. Hi, this is Mark Malone. Join me each week as we whip around the league and break down the NFL. We'll hear from today's stars and yesterday's heroes as James Lofton sits down with a fellow member of the Hall of Fame. We'll also check in with former greats Rod Woodson and Donovan McNabb to help us break down all the latest NFL news. That's NFL Insider right here.
Sunday morning at 6:30 on KMAS.
For News Radio 1030 KMAS, Shelton FM 103.3 and KMAS.com. I'm Dale Hubbard, 735 on your Thursday morning, Thursday night football tonight on the radio. The Bills and the Jets. Pregame at 5, kickoff at 5:30. Saturday, it's the Cougs and UCLA, big Pac-12 matchup. A kickoff at 7:45 Saturday night. We'll begin our coverage at 5:30, and then it's Seahawks Sunday. And, it's prime time for the Seahawks as they host Arizona. Arizona trying to bump off the NFC champs and show the world that they belong, so they'll be plenty inspired. Seattle, meanwhile, has put together at least a 500 season in the first half of the season, and they're looking to steadily improve, much similar to last year's push to the Super Bowl. So we'll see if Seattle is ready for the challenge. 3 o'clock pregame. Kickoff at 5:25. Evergreen men's soccer having the season of their lives right now, and they win 3-0 over Carroll College yesterday. They're into the conference semifinals this afternoon against Rocky Mountain College. Tumwater still alive, ranked number 1 in the 2A ranks, and they will play Franklin Pierce tomorrow night at 7 at Tumwater Stadium. Meanwhile, number 8 ranked River Ridge taking on North Kitsap. Big matchup Saturday night at South Sound Stadium. They too will kick off at 7. And also we might mention St. Martin's men's basketball kicking off their play this weekend with a tournament for kind of combining the Northwest Athletic Conference and the Pac West Conference, having a big challenge this weekend. So St. Martin's getting a chance to play some teams they don't normally get a chance to go against. Fresno Pacific Friday night, and Point Loma on Saturday night over at the South Puget Sound Community College Gymnasium. And also we might mention, too, Gonzaga kicking things off against Pittsburgh, Pitt, in Okinawa. So if you wanted to go to the game, you better get shaken.
Figure it out.
Because they'll be tipping off here in...
it's likely already started. I don't know how.
Yeah, because I think it's a Friday night game, and I think they tip off in about 20 minutes. So I don't know how that works either. And that is sports notes for you this time around. Jess Lakey?
Yeah. Well,
storm a brewing, huh?
We have a big storm a brewing. That is to be sure. Good morning. It's 34 and cloudy now. The sunrise was just 20 minutes ago. And 4:40 tonight is the sunset.
It sunsets 20 minutes from...
It pretty much is. All right, looking ahead to the forecast here, 50 today, Over 2 inches of rain likely today, 2.3 tomorrow, and near 1 inch on Saturday. A little drier Sunday, but then more rain shows up Monday, Tuesday of next week. It's 34 right now, and the rain likely to start at about 20.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line by email or Facebook. Now, from the gateway to the Olympic Mountains, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
Checking out some of the latest stuff on Twitter this morning. We'll go to the DOT East. They have their own. So WSDOT has a Twitter, and then there's WSDOT East, and then a West. They're just looking at some of the snow.
Oh, okay.
Rain, temporary North State Route 20, North Cascades, temporarily closing at 10. They got about 2 feet of snow now, a foot more today, heavy rain Saturday. And that is a recipe for slides.
I did hear Stevens, which is the northernmost ski area until you get way up north. So Stevens is anticipating, hopefully, to be open for skiing on the 20th.
Well, that's only 8 days
and that's
from now.
a month earlier than last year. So you snowboarders and skiers, keep your skis crossed. Oh, no!
Don't cross the skis.
Don't cross the skis.
741 at KMAS. Aaron Milbachler was in on Tuesday to talk with us about stormwater, and great time to come in because, 5 inches of rain between now and Saturday. And add to that, if we go for a full week, we're likely about 7 if I'm counting right. So we'll talk with her. She's from the Pacific Northwest Salmon Center. Also makes mention of a great place to still see the salmon. A couple places around the community around this area are available to see that. 740, before we get to that interview, anything new that you'd like to pass along to anyone?
Is there?
I'm just wondering.
I don't think so.
All right, then. That sounds good.
I have nothing new.
Here is a great conversation about stormwater, what it is, and what we can do to help clean up stormwater moving into our waterways.
All right.
Time for us to talk a little bit about the environment around us.
Yes, we always are very happy to get representatives from the Pacific Northwest Salmon Center in Belfair, and today's guest is Aaron Milbachler. Aaron, you are back. You've been here before.
I am.
And welcome back. And it's good to see you now. You're solo. Usually you guys come in pairs.
Yep.
So they just said you're on your own today.
I'm on my own. Every man for himself.
Got it figured out now.
Man.
Yep.
Let her do it herself.
Well, we've got a tremendous amount of rain in the forecast coming our way this weekend. A couple inches on 2 days in a row. That causes a lot of runoff and a lot of concern for the health of the fish, does it not?
It does. And yeah, absolutely. Rainy season is definitely upon us. And this is the time where we start to see the negative effects of stormwater. And it's just important for people to be conscious of the efforts they can take to prevent that pollution from getting worse.
For instance,
well, I will get there. I'm gonna give you guys a whole list of things you can do.
All right, very good. Be careful what I ask.
So I guess a lot of people may even just ask what stormwater is to begin with. So that might be a kind of fuzzy definition for some people. So stormwater is just the water from rain or melting snow that falls onto streets, parking lots, sports fields, surfaces like that where the surfaces are impervious and water is not easily absorbed by those. So it runs off of that developed land and into bodies of water like the Hood Canal, or you've got estuaries and rivers are big in this region. So that's important to look out for too. I mean, especially living on the peninsula, you've got water all around you. So, and there's just water all around us in the state. So it's important to be aware of what kind of pollutants can get carried off into those bodies of water. Stormwater is also considered a non-point source problem. So you've got point source pollution where the pollution is coming from one specific area, and that would be like a factory smokestack, a ship or ditches. So with non-point source, it's coming from a lot of different activities and a lot of different areas.
Where exactly.
Yeah. Right.
So this also can include just stuff on the sides of the roads that's washed into the drains, or if somebody's car leaks oil or things like that?
Yep, definitely. So stormwater runoff causes damage to streams and lakes and estuaries, particularly in areas where the land changes from rural to more urban, which it seems like everywhere is, following that trend where every rural region is starting to become more urban and growing in that way. So polluted runoff can degrade natural habitat, it harms wildlife, and it can affect water quality. The Washington Department of Ecology actually estimates that a third of all of the polluted waters in this state are polluted from stormwater runoff. So a third of all the water we have here is a huge percentage.
That's a lot of water.
It's a lot of water.
Yeah. And if it's... So let's take a stop here for a second, and if we're going to think about ways to fix this, if stormwater is a non-point polluter, as you were mentioning, how is anyone able to say, here's how we fix this?
Okay, right. Great question. So stormwater is a problem that everybody plays a part in solving, and everybody's part is actually really small, but when it all adds up, that's what results into the large-scale pollution problem that we have. So people can do things like just maintaining their vehicles, so making sure that they're not leaking, recycle all the oil and the antifreeze that you use on your vehicle, and never dump any of these things down storm drains, which may sound like a really common sense thing, but that's known to happen. It's an easy way to get rid of what you've got. So
you go back a generation or two ago and people used to just pour that stuff in the ground and walk away from it, not even think about it.
Right.
Didn't even realize there was an impact.
Yes, it makes a huge impact.
Maybe at some level you thought this isn't probably good, but you didn't really think it through. We didn't have the knowledge of the stormwater runoff and all that.
Right, and that's why it's important to talk about it now, especially with it being rainy season.
You bring that up to your neighbor. I have a neighbor who used the other day, I don't know, they somehow decided that bleach cleaned their driveway pretty nice. And so they did it a little bit. In the front, it started bleaching, and then it dripped. It kind of dripped into the rest of the garage driveway, and they did it some more. And I was watching this, and I wasn't really sure how to say bleach. This is going to go into the water eventually.
Yeah.
But that's one of the other things that people just kind of, we were talking about, you just don't even think about it or
where it's going to end up.
Yeah. I didn't really want to engage the person too much, but I saw that. And oh boy, that can't be good.
I have a flyer you can slip in his mailbox.
Please. Please.
I feel like maybe that's something all residents should receive, in their water bills or something like that. Sneak that in there and just inform residents about it.
The other thing that I haven't seen recently, but I'd seen it in the past, there's like a stencil next to a drain that says this goes into the water or something. Do you remember those? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like it showed a fish and like a line through it, and it says don't dump stuff, and it was right next to most of the drain things.
It's a nice reminder.
Yeah, as a reminder.
I'll have to look around for those.
Yeah, that'd be kind of you got to spray paint it next to the drain, so that's a little suspect in itself, but whatever. Okay, so what else can we do here to manage stormwater, or what else has the county been doing? Anything good?
Yeah, we've actually seen a lot of efforts made to the Mason County area. Belfair Elementary School has a native plant garden on their property, and they also have a strip of permeable asphalt that is in their parking lot as well. So it's not the entire parking lot, but it's like the central part of their lot has a strip of permeable asphalt in it. The Taco Bell in Belfair, their entire drive-in and parking lot is all permeable.
And that's a fairly new structure in town there, isn't it?
As far as I know. I mean, I'm a fairly new person to the area.
You're a new structure yourself.
I'm a new structure here too.
Okay.
But it's,
so wait, you say permeable, that means that it rains, but the rain goes through.
Yes, so the ground, it's more easily absorbed into the ground, so it can reach the water table, it can go into the soil, which you think about it and you're like, why doesn't everybody do this? But it does have cost to it.
Sure.
But if you look at the long-term cost of our environment and take that into consideration, what's really worth it. So
does that filter it good too?
Yeah, it does. And it doesn't cause runoff. So flooding is another big issue with surfaces that aren't permeable because the water just runs off. And when you get a quick storm, like on Thursday and Friday when we're going to get 2 inches of rain, where's all that water going? And if it can't quickly fall into the ground and be absorbed into the water table and the soil, then it's just flooding down the streets.
And that's where it picks up the oils and everything along the way and working its way.
Everything, the vehicles have dropped.
Wow.
We've also noticed that the new Faith in Action building is going to be installing a rain garden. I think they have a goal of 2016 for that. And they also are going to have part of their parking lot be permeable asphalt as well. So there's an effort being made there.
The Hub Center?
Yeah.
We just talked to Patty this morning, and she did not mention a single thing about a permeable.
We were going to do an environmental show later.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool, too.
It is really cool. Yeah, I like to see that. And Olympia Federal Savings, they have these context stormwater drains in their parking lot, and what that does is just collects the water and it filters out all of those pollutants from the water. So yeah.
So people are doing stuff.
Yes, they are definitely doing stuff. We're seeing progress being made in that area.
I like it.
Yeah.
This Saturday from 10 to 2, you're part of the Salmon Viewing Saturday, this time at the Chico Salmon Creek, right next to the Kitsap Golf and Country Club. What is that about? Is that so I just went to the Kennedy Creek Salmon Trail. This past weekend is still running. There's still fish. Is it kind of the same thing?
Yep. So anybody that comes and visits this area are going to see salmon returning upstream, and you can learn about the salmon life cycle at these events. Our AmeriCorps members, also Michelle, our project manager, is going to be at this event on Saturday, and I myself will be there on Saturday. So stop by our booth, pick up some information about stormwater.
Yes.
And
brochures and flyers to stick to your neighbors.
Yep.
We could talk about this later, but I am on my board for my homeowners, so I could add this very easily to our things.
You and I should talk
so people can know about how to do this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You and Aaron get this figured out.
I think so.
Your neighborhood's got a bad reputation already.
I know. We're rough.
I've got one more request on behalf of the Salmon Center that I would like to mention. We are in need of some new reliable and eco-friendly vehicles. So we're looking for donations. If people are wanting to get rid of unwanted vehicles, and maybe it's not even necessarily one we can use, we'd still like to take it off their hands and recycle it for them, and use the proceeds from that to afford more reliable vehicles for us to get around to our restoration sites and research sites and our outreach events.
Okay. All right.
I mean, that's how we get around.
That's a tax-deductible donation to you guys. And so they would get fair market value as far as credits go to donate.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep. So I just want to throw that out there. If anybody's looking to get rid of a vehicle that's taking up some garage space that they'd like to have free, or yard space, we'll definitely take that off their hands.
And how would people reach you if they wanted to do something?
Probably the best number would be reaching Beth Gizzy at the Salmon Center, and her number can be found on our website. Her extension is 16, and she will arrange for that to be either picked up or arrange for us to meet with that person to see what kind of vehicle they'd like to give to us.
Okay, very good. We've got your website posted up on our website always.
All right,
good. Yeah, for that. And Aaron, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
The heads up, your timing is impeccable because we do have 4 or 5 inches of rain coming here in the next few days.
So stay aware of what you're putting into the street, and if you've got any leaks on your vehicles, now would be the time to fix it.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Just real briefly, is there something that you could recommend for folks who maybe have some oil stains in their driveway right now and they want to kind of scrub that up and lift it, but they want to do it eco-friendly? Is there any products that you can endorse? Or
I am not familiar with any products.
Okay.
I've never had to do that myself.
It would be effective and eco-friendly. That's the key. Bleach is effective, but not so friendly.
Eco-friendly.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard of kitty litter, but that's if it's cooled a little.
Wet.
Yeah, you're trying to just clean
that stain that's left afterward.
I mean, like, I don't know. They have natural cleaners, like orange peels. Orange does great things.
Yeah, and
there's recipes to come up with your own concoction to get rid of that stuff too.
We could
that's
spend
usually
a whole
natural.
day coming up with fun recipes to clean.
So go online, Dale, and look it up yourself.
Google it. Just Google it.
Aaron, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Bachler, I love your last name. That's fancy.
You're
What's
getting
the
good at it.
origins of that?
It's a German name. It means Miller by the Brook.
All right.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So
We'll come back and visit again, won't you?
All right. Yes,
All right, from the Pacific
absolutely.
Northwest Salmon Center. We appreciate your time and the heads up on stormwater and what you can do, and also viewing the salmon Saturday.
Yep.
That'd be fun.
Yep.
Taylor Shellfish is a proud sponsor of the Environmentally Sound program. For 5 generations, the Taylor family's been stewards of a healthy and prosperous Puget Sound. In partnership with nature, Taylor Shellfish brings you the freshest, most sustainable shellfish you'll ever eat. Visit their store at 136 Southeast Lynch Road. Open daily from 10 to 6, and they're online at TaylorShellfishFarms.com. Green Diamond Resource Company has been on the landscape for over 120 years here in Mason County, growing and nurturing our working forests. These forests provide the best of all worlds: clean air and water, protection for fish and wildlife, areas for hunting, fishing, and other recreation, all while growing essential wood products from lumber to paper to renewable energy. At Green Diamond, stewardship is one of our core values and our business. We're proud of our role in keeping Mason County and Washington green.
Attention casino goers, the Lucky Eagle Casino Players Club is now better than ever, with more levels and reward options, and great new ways to earn discounts on hotel rooms, meals, concert tickets, and more. Plus, you can now download your free play and points right at your favorite machine. Not a club member? It's free to join, so hurry in today to launch your rewards. Lucky Eagle Casino and Hotel, I-5 to exit 88 Rochester, Washington, and LuckyEagle.com, where you belong.
Hi, this is Tom Hartman, host of the Tom Hartman program on News Radio 1030 KMAS. You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
All right, good morning to you. It's Daybreak here.
Blue Circuit's here.
On air light went off, just went out.
So
We're still on the air.
Are we on the air?
No, we're
like a virgin.
Touched for the very first time.
Title track spent 6 weeks at the #1 spot on the singles chart on this very day. Well, I guess the year.
Like a virgin. It came out 1984.
Perfect.
Oh,
yeah.
Great.
Yeah, that's exactly right. On this very day, 1984. Also, same day that Johnny Cash began taping his holiday special in Switzerland.
1984.
Mm-hmm. Waylon, Willie, and the boys.
I love those guys.
And June. We're all in the holiday special.
Did they bring June in for the Highwaymen? Did she ever sit a spell
I don't think so.
Sing a song?
Because they were highwaymen.
Oh, sure.
She might have done some background vocals there.
I hadn't heard of that mix.
Chris
Super group
Christopherson.
all the way. Even more of a super group.
Yeah. It was those were heady times.
I know.
For the Cash Clan. Yeah, I can say that. Final concert with Jim Morrison with the Doors, New Orleans, 1970. I think he died in 1971.
Yeah, wasn't much after that.
Yeah, summertime. And was on the stage in 1966 that Mellow Yellow was released by Donovan.
The song or the drink?
The song.
They call me Mellow Yellow.
Okay.
I like that Mellow Yellow.
It's
stuff.
It's a good
the precursor to Mountain Dew.
I think he knew that going in. I'm not sure. First drive-through bank tellers were introduced.
Mm-hmm.
Not machines, real tellers. And this was in Chicago. They called it Auto Bank. And people were all a Twitter.
I'm sure.
When Twitter meant something else. 1946. Got more to tell you about this date in history, but first we make way for news and the Old Farmer's Almanac. All straight ahead, yes?
Oh, yeah.
All straight ahead here at 8 on Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Animals certainly have their own unique languages. Should we be surprised they also have regional dialects or accents? That's our topic today on the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report.
All right, listen up, because this is the most important thing you're going to hear all day. What if I said you could make money flipping houses without any cash, credit, or manual labor? And what if I said you could do it part-time from the comfort of your home? Sound unflippin' believable? Hi, I'm Preston Ely, and I'm going to prove it by sending you a free copy of my smash hit selling book, How to Get Rich in Real Estate. It sells online for $19.95, but I'm giving away 5,000 free copies this week. To get one before they're gone, call 1-800-959-8649. I used to be so broke. I had my electricity shut off 9 times, but I figured out a simple way to make money flipping houses without even breaking a sweat. Now I'm living the good life, and so should you. Listen, if you're sick and tired of stressing about money, this book could change your life. Hands down, it's the fastest, easiest way to get started in real estate. Let me prove it. Call right now to find out how to get your free book. When they're gone, they're gone. Call 1-800-959-8649. 1-800-959-8649.
With more practical tips and useful advice, this is the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report for Thursday, November 12th, the 316th day of the year. Folk rock hero Neil Young has a birthday, and Tom Seaver won his 3rd Cy Young Award 40 years ago. Here's an astounding bit of trivia we stumbled upon recently. Did you know that animals can have regional dialects or accents? Ornithologists have long observed that bird calls will vary between regions of the country. Those who study whale songs say there are distinct intonations that vary with regions. And studies by a London university have found that elephants and goats display social dialects. Their bleats or calls will vary from herd to herd. When an individual changes herds, its vocalizations also change, taking on the accent of its new family. That's the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report. Have a question for the Old Farmer? Ask it online at almanac.com.
Start your mornings live and local with Daybreak on KMAS Shelton. Join Jeff and Dale weekdays from 6 to 9 on AM 1030 or FM 1033.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Karen Chase. The Windy City is extra blustery today. Wind gusts over 50 miles an hour in Chicago have closed a major bridge and threatened to create 15-foot waves in the Great Lakes. That same storm system spawned tornadoes in Iowa and blizzard conditions in Kansas and Colorado. The weather was extremely foggy when a small plane slammed into an apartment house in Ohio, killing all 9 people aboard. Safety investigators are examining surveillance video that captured its final moments and its black box. ABC's David Curley has details on the victims.
The pilot and co-pilot were killed, but there were 7 passengers on board, and all 7 were from a real estate company from Boca Raton, Florida. 2 of the executives and 5 of the employees. This was a family-run firm. They were flying around looking for places to build small shopping centers. 7 of them killed in this crash. That is a good chunk of that family firm gone in this crash.
The job market is holding its own. The Labor Department says the number of people applying for unemployment benefits was unchanged last week, a sign of reluctance to cut jobs. The obesity epidemic is growing. ABC's Scott Goldberg tells us despite all the warnings and advice, extra weight continues to creep up on us.
The CDC says in the last 2 years, the obesity rate for American adults has gone up from 35 to 38%. It's worst among middle-aged people between 40 and 59 years old. Women have a higher rate than men, especially Black and Hispanic women. All this despite efforts to raise awareness about healthy living and bring down those numbers.
More than 100 women who got pregnant while taking the pill are suing the contraceptive manufacturer, saying mislabeled packaging left them unprotected. The drug companies say birth control pills are not 100% effective, and only one woman can blame her mistake on them. A popular soap star has died. 40-year-old Nathaniel Marston, who played Michael McBain on One Life to Live, died in a Nevada hospital of severe injuries he suffered in an October car accident. Officials believe he fell asleep at the wheel. This is ABC News.
Racing legend Richard Petty.
After over 1,100 races, you could say I've been through the ringer. To help me keep feeling my best, I use odor-free Blue MU made with real MU oil. Blue MU continuous pain relief spray makes it perfect for all those hard-to-reach places. And now there's the new Blue MU Maximum Arthritis Pain Relief Cream. Perfect for hard-hitting arthritis pain. Thanks to Blue MU, nothing slows down the king. Use what I use. Blue MU. It works fast and you won't stink.
Available at Walmart, Walgreens, and other fine retailers.
Results not typical. Do you owe the IRS more than $10,000 in personal or business taxes and you can't afford to pay? Get tax representation. The industry experts with negotiating with the IRS with an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. Call today and the IRS will be contacted the same day, putting a stop to bank levies and wage garnishments. Call the tax representation hotline at 800-556-7089. 800-556-7089. That's 800-556-7089.
President Obama today bestows the Medal of Honor to a retired Army captain who tackled a suicide bomber while serving in Afghanistan. ABC's Lana Zock has his story.
Something felt wrong that morning in Afghanistan, Captain Florent Groberg says, and within minutes he had wrestled a suicide bomber to the ground. Groberg's fast action saved untold lives, but 4 men died in the attack, something that haunts him still.
You do have those demons early on, and they stay with you forever.
And as he is awarded the nation's greatest honor for valor in combat, Groberg has this thought.
If I could take this medal and give it back and have my guys back, this, be done yesterday.
Lana Zach, ABC News, Washington.
Federal government officials are making a move smokers won't like. The Department of Housing and Urban Development is proposing outlawing smoking in public housing complexes as part of its battle on secondhand smoke, including inside units and in common areas. Some say smokers ought to be able to do what they want in their own homes. Karen Chase, ABC News.
Local news is brought to you by Shelton Health and Rehabilitation Center. Find them online at sheltonhealthandrehab.com.
You're listening to KMAS News Radio. I'm Marilyn Foster. Electricity was restored to the Bay Shore and Johns Prairie areas just after 11 yesterday morning. PUD 3 crews worked quickly to make repairs after a tree fell across power lines just north of Shelton on Highway 3. It ripped down lines from several spans of poles, tore through fiber optic cables, and damaged electrical equipment. There's a planned power outage in the Camilchi Point area today to allow for the safe removal of several trees on southeast Camilchi Point Road. Father Joe Michael from the St. David Wales Episcopal Church visited Daybreak yesterday to say goodbye. Father Joe has been part of St. David's congregation for many years now and has spent countless hours helping those in the community who are struggling. And he made an impassioned request.
Community Lifeline is an agency here in town we've been supporting, really the only building in town to shelter the homeless in a transitional kind of way. And so we're selling that building. The church itself is selling that building because small church, small congregation, aging congregation can't afford to maintain that 1926 building. So anybody who can hear my voice, I got a campaign. I'm leaving town to try to encourage people to give $100, $20, $5. Put it in an envelope. Send it to Community Lifeline, Post Office Box 339, Shelton, and help Community Lifeline buy that building before the church has to sell it to another entity, and this kind of shelter and program goes away.
KMAS thanks Father Joe for all the work he's done to help Shelton and the surrounding area. Veterans Day was yesterday, but the celebrations aren't over. Jim Good and Deb Kilcup stopped by Daybreak to talk about a free barbecue this weekend, sponsored by the Hood Sport Lions Club for current and former vets and their families.
We're going to give them food, and there's going to be a great program, a great speaker, a free raffle. Tickets will be given to everyone who comes with some great prizes.
Wow.
Last year, I am so proud to say that we had 2 World War II veterans there. Anyone who comes, if they would like to share their stories, they're surely welcome.
It's just a great opportunity for us to say thank you.
The free event kicks off at noon Saturday at the Hood Sport Fire Hall. Learn more about it by listening to the full interview on the Daybreak page at KMAS.com. I'm Mary Lynn Foster, your local news at AM 1030 and FM 103.3, and always on KMAS.com.
Hi, it's Dale from the Daybreak Show, inviting you to join Jeff Slakey and myself every morning from 6 till 9. We have what we think is a pretty compelling mix of news, information, and interviews.
Hi, this is Dick Taylor from the Port of Shelton.
Hi, this is Mike Patty, Assistant Chief with Central Mason Fire and EMS.
This is Detective William Adam at the Mason County Sheriff's Office.
This is Commissioner Randy Netherland, and you're listening to Daybreak.
Daybreak.
Daybreak. Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS.
On KMAS.
On Newsradio 1030 KMAS.
Snow melts. Rain falls. Rivers form. This happens all over the world. But when it happens here, something wonderful unfolds. A renewable source of energy, created without releasing even an ounce of CO2 into the Earth's atmosphere.
Mason PUD 3. Clean, renewable, and reliable energy every day.
Jordan and Aldridge return to play former teams, and Golden State still perfect. Hi, everybody. Todd Ant reporting on sports. Making his first appearance in Dallas since agreeing to a free agent contract, then blowing off the Mavericks over the summer.
At center in his 8th season from Texas A&M, number 60, Andre Jordan.
As expected from the Dallas crowd, but as for the game...
Nowitzki for three. Banks it in. Dirk Nowitzki from downtown.
On ESPN, 31 points for Nowitzki. Dallas 118-108 over the Clippers. Another ridiculous shot by Stephen Curry in Memphis.
Stolen by Curry. Curry gets it from midcourt, pulls up for a three on the way. Got it! Curry nailed it! He hit a three at the buzzer!
On KNBR, Golden State still perfect at 9-0 with a 100-84 breezer over the Grizzlies. In Portland,
Kawhi Leonard took a very tough fall after that dunk.
On ESPN, the Spurs pick up a 113-101 road victory over the Trailblazers. Ex-Blazer LaMarcus Aldridge scored 23 points against his former team. A buzzer beater in Orlando.
Tobias looks at Peyton, now throws into Vooch. He'll turn, he'll fire the 20-footer. It's good! It's good! Nick Vucevic drains the jumper at the buzzer. Ball game, let's go home.
On WDBO, the Magic win 101-99 over the Lakers. Denver's Kenneth Faried found a nugget with seconds to go.
Gallows at the elbow, step through the defenders, forced a long two. It's an air ball, tipped up and in by Faried. And the Nuggets are back in the lead by 1 with 5 seconds to go.
On KKFN, the Nuggets edged Milwaukee 103-102. Not only did the Brooklyn Nets win their first game of the season, they did it in Houston, 106-98 over the Rockets. Meanwhile, the 76ers remain winless at 0-8 after dropping a 119-103 decision to the Raptors in Philadelphia. On the injury front, the Nuggets lose their forward, Wilson Chandler, for the season with a hip injury. And soccer's governing body, FIFA, approves 5 candidates for president. The election takes place in February. Todd Ant, ABC Sports.
Yeah?
A little different.
Boy, it's a letdown.
It really is.
I'll get some.
It's going to take a half an hour for that light to even warm
right
up.
My shopping list: lights and decon so far. For News Radio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 103.3, and online this morning at KMAS.com. Our mic light popped on us last segment, and so now you can show them the old one there in the camera.
Oh, yeah, I can.
So we need to get a replacement mic light in studio mic light, so we know that we're on, so we know that we're miking. And so we did one of those little curly Q ones, which is totally off base for what we need.
Yeah, it's going to take forever to even warm up.
Yeah, no ambiance either. So we'll get that all fixed today, along with the decon. Decon is for our coffee, right? All right, sports notes. Tyler Lockett, Rookie of the Year. Well, he's got a ways to go.
Okay.
But he's the Rookie of the Year for the Seahawks.
Yes, right now for sure.
And he will be at Olympia Furniture Company. Yes, that Olympia Furniture Company. The one you hear on this radio station.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow at 5 o'clock, signing lounge chairs and couches. And shaking babies and kissing mothers or whatever they do.
Whatever you do.
So that would be kind of neat. I'd look forward to seeing him if I get a chance. But 5 o'clock tomorrow at the Olympia Furniture Company. All right, Thursday night football tonight, Bills and Jets. 5 o'clock pregame, 5:30 kickoff here. And Saturday, big, huge game, the Cougars and UCLA Bruins. Pregame at 5:30, kickoff set for 7:45. Man. Hawks, Sunday night, prime time, waiting all day for Sunday night. Isn't that what they say?
I've been waiting all day for Sunday night.
Yeah. Arizona looking to establish supremacy in the NFC West, taking on the NFC champs, the Seattle Seahawks. Going to be a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Going to be a banger, I'll tell you that right now. Pregame at 3, kickoff 5:25. Evergreen men's college soccer team 3-0 over Carroll College yesterday. That moves them into the conference semifinals against Rocky Mountain College this afternoon at 4. Best of luck to the Gooey Ducks. Meanwhile, Tumwater takes on Franklin Pierce. Tomorrow, I think it's quarterfinal action. And they are in pursuit, of course, of a state title, ranked number 1 in the 2A schools, and 7 o'clock tip-off at Tumwater tomorrow night. Saturday night, River Ridge, ranked number 8th in 2A, and they will play North Kitsap Saturday night at 7 at South Sound Stadium. St. Martin's basketball team, their men's team, starts play with a conference challenge this weekend. Shelton High School's football banquet coming up November 18th, and we want to congratulate Franklin Gutierrez. Goody renewed a 1-year contract for next year with the Seattle Mariners.
I like Gutierrez. He when he is on the field, he plays well. And because it wasn't anything like, I'm not going to play my contract.
Yeah, no, it was nothing like that.
It was health related.
They had to keep him off the field.
Oh, yeah.
He'd be doubled over and coming out, and they go, what are you doing? Well, I got to play. No, you got to take care of yourself. So everybody likes Goody. So hopefully when he's on, he's a Gold Glove center fielder with pop in his bat. So he's all the ingredients. He's everything you want in a ball player. He's got stomach issues. He's been injured. I can't count on both hands and both feet the times that he's been legitimately hamstrung, among other things. So best of luck to Goody and the Mariners. If you're looking for a start date, we'll just throw this one out there, March 2nd.
We may even have that game on the radio March 2nd.
We might have that game on.
First game of the year. 36 now. We got rain kind of off and on for the next couple hours, and it's going to get heavy. I was kind of looking at the wind, because then when you mix the two together, it gets pretty rough. We're looking to see some wind about 15 miles per hour later into the day. 2 inches of rain today.
Did we ever get the name of the lost hiker that wandered out of the Mount Eleanor area at 2:30 this morning?
No, I'll keep looking. Let's see if I can find that.
I'll bring it up because
we'll see if there's any
He was up there taking.
That's crazy.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email or Facebook. Now, from the southernmost tide pool of Puget Sound, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
All right, good morning to you. It's 8:16 at KMAS.
Well, it's getting brighter.
It's very good here now. Some sunglasses. Be like Tom Likas.
Your future's so bright you need to wear sunglasses. Tom Likas. Is that why you wore sunglasses? Because of the mic light?
Sure.
Or was it so it could be cool?
I think it's so it could be cool. Business Journal, the Puget Sound Business Journal. See this note here from Twitter. Hagen looks to sell off all remaining stores.
Yeah,
now.
Hagen's going to unload the whole mess and say, we're done with this shopping market business.
I would think so. Those 30 or so core Hagen stores included in that. The numero 1 store that's in Bellingham,
How about
where it all started.
Number 33 down here in Olympia.
Yeah, there's one that used to be an Albertsons, and now it's a Hagen, and there's one that used to be the Top Foods, and now it's a Hagen. Company has asked for permission to sell off all of its remaining stores as part of its Chapter 11 bankruptcy reorganization proceedings this week, according to the Seattle Times. So they're already in the process of selling off more than 130 stores, of which it bought from Albertsons and Safeway. And then in the weird twist, it was Albertsons that went back to rebid on some of these.
Yes,
to get
they
some
want to
of
get
them
a lot of
back.
them back. So, and then there was this discussion and accusations being made about discussion and accusations being made about business practices preventing profitability, and there's some bad blood between those two entities.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
If they're going to buy them out, I'm sure they'll put they'll pass the peace pipe.
And once this all shakes out, maybe never to see the name Hagen on a store again. Wow, that is intense.
That is intense. Absolutely true story.
Today's Thursday, and a lot of folks on Thursdays do that throwback Thursday.
Thursdays,
They show pictures.
Yeah.
Here's kind of one just wanted to pass along from Meryl Streep. Okay? So she is posting a picture from a New York subway, and it has to be in the 80s or something, 70s maybe, because there's graffiti all over the place. And she writes, "This is me on my way home from an audition for King Kong." The movie King Kong.
Yeah.
Meryl Streep. Okay. She was told she was too ugly for the role. And this was a pivotal moment for her.
Wow.
This one rogue opinion, this is the important part. This one rogue opinion could derail my dreams of becoming an actress or force me to pull myself up by the bootstraps and believe in myself. I took a deep breath and said, "I'm sorry you think I'm too ugly for your film, but you're just one opinion in a sea of thousands, and I'm off to find a kinder tide."
Good for her.
And today she has 18 Academy Awards.
Yes.
So
one
that's
of the best actresses in the history of mankind.
Yeah, that's a great story. And
that is.
I've been trying to think more about that. One comment, positive or negative, is just one comment.
Is just one opinion.
Yeah.
Too. Remember that.
Mm-hmm.
And that is very important to keep in mind when you get slings and arrows tossed to your direction. If you're anywhere in public or deal with the public, or now with the social media, we're all subjected to criticism.
I feel bad for private citizens. I mean, not that we're not like big celebrities.
No, we're not.
By any stretch of this.
Wait a
Sorry,
minute.
Dale.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Dale. But by any stretch of the imagination.
And all those mirrors I've got in my house. The lights around them.
But we are out there enough where we know that that's what we've signed up for.
Yeah.
People on Facebook and things like that, one errant comment, and now people
Destroy a
screen
life.
grab that and they share it, and then they go, "This
And they're
person."
relentless.
Oh, people are relentless.
It is horrible. 8:20. We're going to come back, talk more about that. A lot of good topics still to come here on this Thursday. And we may focus on Shelton if we have a focuser with us.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
To those who say, just as the sun rises in the east, so too must breakfast be enjoyed in the morning. McDonald's now says, yeah, we don't really agree with that. Introducing McDonald's new all-day breakfast menu. Now you can get a hot and freshly made Egg McMuffin sandwich, hash browns, and other delectable breakfast tastes day and night. It's time to start enjoying the breakfast you love anytime you wish. Breakfast items vary by location. Deliciousness doesn't.
Bears versus Packers, Cowboys versus Eagles. Got a favorite? It doesn't matter when you play Game Time Gold at Mickey D's. Just look for game pieces on the Big Mac 20-piece McNuggets and other faves. You may win instantly, or text the code from NFL Team Game Pieces for a chance at other great prizes. Play Game Time Gold at McDonald's to find out who's your team.
No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents 13 or older. In-store game ends 11:30 or while supplies last. Sweepstakes ends 12/21. See official rules at participating McDonald's and play at mcd.com for details. Void with prohibited price and participation may vary.
This is Brian with the LaFlame Group at Eagle Home Mortgage, and we're here to present your real estate resource Mondays at 8:10 on Daybreak. Listen in while we interview the most knowledgeable people who represent you at one of the most important times in your life.
Real Estate Resource with Brian LaFlame from Eagle Home Mortgage. Mondays at 8:10 on Daybreak with Jeff and Dale. Learn how to make sense of the local home buying process.
Join me on Mondays as I talk with local professionals who help you every step of the way in your home purchasing process.
Good morning, this is Under Sheriff Jim Barrett, and you're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS.
Good morning to you. It's Daybreak here at KMAS, KMAS.com. We got rain and lots of it.
Oh, baby. Yes. Lots of it. And what did you tell me? A storm that is 3
million square miles bearing down on Washington.
3 million square mile size storm out over the Pacific Ocean right now. We're not going to get it all, but we're going to get our fair share of it. And it looks as though the front of it is going to hit us smack dab between the eyes. So, but and my word, it's incredible with satellite imagery and all this now. It is an incredible looking force coming our way, and it's packing a lot of wind. So wind, a lot of moisture. I don't have to spell it all out to you, but I am. But anyway, what we're saying is be prepared. Are you prepared? Do you have food and candles and flashlights and batteries, blankets, that sort of thing, in case you might be out of power for a moment or two or maybe a day or two? Who knows what havoc will be wreaked with this storm? I'm not saying the sky is falling, but you don't know. We don't know. So just be prepared for the worst, and then hopefully it'll be the best. It'll barely skirt us and we'll hardly notice.
Oh, that would be nice. Now, two things.
A lot of it is hitting north of Puget Sound. I mean, North Puget Sound, not south.
Well, what mountain pass should I look at?
For
just to see how the weather is impacting.
Stevens Pass would be the one that they're thinking is going to have a big influx of moisture. And could be some issues up in that northern area.
The other thing that Dale talked to me about, and I have never even thought about it, but we were reminiscing of the Columbus Day storm and how the weather reports back in 52 or whenever it was were very different to be. Now, do you remember the weather reports back then? I mean, it was, weather reports in the 80s, at least.
Yeah.
It was like a picture, and you would put sticky clouds here and you put a sticky cloud here. I can't even imagine how poor the technology would have been to alert people about this storm.
I'm trying to envision what a weather forecast would have looked like in the 60s, for instance, on TV. And it couldn't have been more than
like
an L and an H and some circles around it.
I know,
and that was basically all you knew, and that's all you could gather from it. And
really look.
And so, we were talking about the Columbus Day storm, and it was, the anniversary date of that was just a month ago, and how much we were not prepared for what happened because we just didn't realize the veracity of the storm that was coming at us. We knew there was going to be a storm. But no, nothing was going to be rescheduled. It was a Friday night because I was at the football game when that thing started. And then the whole town's power went out. Rain was blowing sideways anyway. And then I'll never forget, the big spotlights for the football field, right? And those things went out. And so you're immediately blinded because you've been in bright light. And then all of a sudden there's pure darkness and several hundred people all at the same place, same time, total silence, total dark. What happened? And then a murmur, and then pretty soon everybody's starting to get trying to figure stuff out. And it was incredible. And walking home was an exciting run home.
I bet.
And as it turned out, I hadn't even been in town that long. And I had about a mile or so to go to get home. And it was, a lot of wind blowing, stuff going around and wet. We had no idea something like that was going to be coming down the pike.
Yeah.
You knew there was going to be a storm, but a storm is a storm.
It was pretty bad.
To distinguish. So we're saying this storm is a pretty good-sized storm. This is the biggest storm we've seen in over a year.
Yeah.
So just be prepared. That's all we're saying.
There was an earthquake, kind of. Do you know where Salmon Creek is? It's west of Battleground, between Battleground and Vancouver, west of that. Along the border, there was a 2.7 this morning. Yeah, just a little bit ago.
Oh, my goodness.
Update you on that. Run for the hills.
You don't need that added to the mix.
No, we don't.
Tsunami.
Is it stormy on Wall Street, Karen Shade?
Oh, now there's the question.
It is a little. The storms are brewing.
There are storms are brewing.
I mean, I have to say, I'm a little like, with all this rain coming.
Yeah.
It's going to get pretty
bad. Well, you should be a little,
I need to get my ark out, I think. Right?
Perhaps.
I think you do.
It's a little late to start building one now.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
All right. So just get the dinghy out and start rowing to high land.
Hope for the best.
There we go. That I will.
All right, what's up with Wall Street?
Well, U.S. stocks are declining in early trading as investors weigh economic data and earnings news. In economic news, initial jobless claims came in higher than expected for the first week of November, but were unchanged from the previous week. In the earnings news, Kohl's and Econ both reported third-quarter results above expectations. Treasuries are mixed this morning. So far this morning in the S&P 500, the best-performing sector is technology, while the worst-performing sector is energy. Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 100 points at 17,602. Standard & Poor's 500 Index is down 13 points at 2,061. And the NASDAQ Composite Index is down 7 points at 5,059. This morning volume on the New York Stock Exchange is moderate, with 243 million shares being traded, and decliners are outnumbering advancers by roughly 3-to-1 margin. In the commodity markets, the spot price of gold is down $6.10 to $1,080.22. The spot price of silver is down 2 cents to $14.31, and the crude oil prices are down 74 cents to $42.19. In the bond markets, the 30-year Treasury yield is currently 3.10%, and the 10-year Treasury yield is currently 2.32%. Stocks of local interest: Amazon is down $3.09. Costco is up 13 cents. Boeing is down $1.73. Starbucks is down 71 cents, and Microsoft is down 19 cents. This is Karen Shade of Edward Jones, member SIPC, serving individual investors with personalized attention and long-term financial advice. I'm located at 1051 Southeast State Route 3 in Shelton, and if you'd like additional information, you can contact me at 426-4590, and daily commentary is also located on our website at edwardjones.com.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Local news is brought to you by Fred Holmes Tree Service. FredHolmesTreeService.com, 427-4489.
You're listening to KMAS News Radio. I'm Marilyn Foster. Electricity was restored to the Bayshore and Johns Prairie areas just after 11 yesterday morning. PUD3 crews worked quickly to make repairs after a tree fell across power lines just north of Shelton on Highway 3. It ripped down lines from several spans of poles, tore through fiber optic cables, and damaged electrical equipment. There's a planned power outage in the Camilchi Point area today to allow for the safe removal of several trees on Southeast Camilchi Point Road. Father Joe Michael from the St. David Wales Episcopal Church visited Daybreak yesterday to say goodbye. Father Joe has been part of St. David's congregation for many years now and has spent countless hours helping those in the community who are struggling. And he made an impassioned request.
Community Lifeline is an agency here in town we've been supporting, really the only building in town to shelter the homeless in a transitional kind of way. And so we're selling that building. The church itself is selling that building because small church, small congregation, aging congregation can't afford to maintain that 1926 building. So anybody who can hear my voice, I got a campaign. I'm leaving town to try to encourage people to give $100, $20, $5. Put it in an envelope. Send it to Community Lifeline, Post Office Box 339, Shelton, and help Community Lifeline buy that building before the church has to sell it to another entity, and this kind of shelter and program goes away.
KMAS thanks Father Joe for all the work he's done to help Shelton and the surrounding area. Veterans Day was yesterday, but the celebrations aren't over. Jim Good and Deb Kilcup stopped by Daybreak to talk about a free barbecue this weekend, sponsored by the Hood Sport Lions Club for current and former vets and their families.
We're going to give them food, and there's going to be a great program, a great speaker, a free raffle. Tickets will be given to everyone who comes with some great prizes.
Wow.
Last year, I am so proud to say that we had 2 World War II veterans there. Anyone who comes, if they would like to share their stories, they're surely welcome.
It's just a great opportunity for us to say thank you.
The free event kicks off at noon Saturday at the Hood Sport Fire Hall. Learn more about it by listening to the full interview on the Daybreak page at KMAS.com. I'm Mary Lynn Foster, your local news at AM 1030 and FM 103.3, and always on KMAS.com.
Hi, I'm Ken Slater, the Roof Doctor. If you're like me, your family's important, so make sure that they're well taken care of. One of the best ways to do that is to provide a safe and warm home to live in. For over 50 years, the Roof Doctor has been helping families stay safe and warm by building roofs that last for generations. Our teams have some of the most experienced roofers in the area, and we only use the highest quality materials to keep your family safe, warm, and dry. That's the Roof Doctor. Give us a call.
Hi, this is Alex Jones on KMAS News Radio. First, they disarm the people, then they disarm the police, the state police, the local police, except for special paramilitary special event police that are the New Praetorian Guard. And then they serve under the UN. That's why Austin police, DC police, New York police are all in these international exchange programs. Sound reasonable on the surface, but they're all being unified into one global standardized command.
For News Radio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 103.3, and audio and video on KMAS.com. I'm Dale Hubbard. Good morning. 8:34 on this Thursday. The Jets and Bills are squaring off in the NFL game tonight, a game you'll hear on this very radio station. And you know, it was a year ago, Rex Ryan was calling the shots for the Jets, while this year he's in charge of the Bills. Mm-hmm. Bills have brand new unis now, blood red.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, well, one of them. All these teams pack around about 8 or 9 different versions. So, Anyway, new unis for the Bills. You might see those tonight. New York and the Jets actually changed their colors. They're green. It's a little bit of a lighter hue to it, if you will.
I will.
New York, the Jets 5-3 on the season this year. Buffalo is 4-4. Yeah, compelling, isn't it? All right, so we'll see how that all plays out tonight, beginning at 5 o'clock. Despite suffering a concussion last Sunday, Vikings QB Teddy Bridgewater expected to return to play this Sunday. He practiced yesterday, and Coach Mike Zimmer said, we just put some dirt on it, and he's okay. If you're an Oklahoma City Thunder, they used to be the Sonics, you know.
Thunder.
Yeah, bad news for you OKC Thunder fans. Kevin Durant, he was out almost all of last year.
Yeah.
Now he's going to be out another week now. He strained his left hammy. He'll be evaluated in 7 to 10 days, and still kind of getting his legs under him. He's only averaging 28 points a game this year. All right, and we do have one other important sports note I wanted to pass along to you. The Golf Channel, Jeff, the Golf Channel is going to be using caddies on TV. Now, they're not going to use the caddies to carry cameras or, to be to do caddy stuff. They're going to use them with microphones to give commentary. Here's the deal. Phil Mickelson's caddy and Matt Kuchar's caddy are going to be packing mics instead of golf bags. Golf Channel's hired Bones McKay, John Wood, part of their broadcast team, for 2 days of the RSM Classic at Sea Island, which is, I don't know where Sea Island is. Anyway, that's not important. The important thing is, the spokesman for the Golf Channel said, viewers are always intrigued by conversations between players and their caddies. I agree. Okay. He said this will allow viewers to hear the perspective from the caddies. McKay and Wood were selected because they communicate well. And the caddies will be on the
things to say
on the course, reporters for Friday and Saturday's rounds, and then they'll be probably on the bag for Sunday for the championship.
So who's going to be who's going to be the caddies?
I think they're going to have mobile mics so you can just hear better.
They're going to do...
Because, one guy been sticking his mic back by him so you could pick up bits and pieces of it. This time now they're going to be actually mic'd up. You know how they mic up
Yeah.
the player? They're going to mic up the caddies.
But the caddy will still caddy for those golfers.
Yeah.
So they got to do double duty.
Yeah, so they're only going to be mic'd up for 2 days, and then they got to pay attention to stuff. First round is important. Last round is important. Friday and Saturday, whatever they are. Movement day, cut day, all those things. That's the very latest and greatest in sports this time around. 8:37, storms a brewing.
It is a
Along
brewing.
with your coffee.
And we're taking a look at the South Sound forecast around here on KMAS.
Yeah, we couldn't just get Keurig-sized storms.
Trying to get a sponsorship deal here. 36 and cloudy. Yeah, that's what it looks like out there. Looking like we've got rain off and on for the next couple of hours here. It's 50 now. Over 2 inches of rain today. 2 and a third of inches of rain tomorrow. 36 currently. Good morning.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email or Facebook. Now, from the artesian waters of South Puget Sound, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
All right, we just got a phone call on the listener line. Love hearing from folks either by calling us at 462-1041, emailing us daybreak@kmas.com. You can tweet us or send us Facebook messages. We're very accessible.
We are.
If we get back to you, it's a different thing. No, I'm just kidding.
Ronda Rousey's big bout with her Australian challenger coming up this Saturday night. And it will be, and there's only 3 rounds in this MMA, mixed martial arts.
Holly Holmes says, I want greatness so bad I can taste it.
Yeah.
Getting ready for this big fight.
The last lady that Rousey had said something derogatory about her family and her dad, who had committed suicide. And so she goes, you shouldn't do that.
Wait, that was to Rousey or to Holmes?
To Rousey.
Was that the same lady who told her not to cry? Don't cry at the weigh-in, and then she just whooped on her and says, "Don't cry."
Yeah.
At the end of the fight.
Yeah.
That was that lady.
Yeah. You don't give her any more ammunition than she naturally has.
No, she is.
Whoa. I think she could take on Ziegler, and
I think so.
Hold her own.
That could be quite the I'd run too. Time for us to focus on Shelton. We are so happy to see Mark Ziegler in the studio with us this morning. What's going on?
It's chilly out there.
You ain't kidding.
Walk down from the Civic Center.
Is it raining yet?
Just a little drizzle.
You have a coat?
No, I was in a meeting and I had to run out of there real fast. So
the calendar says November. Just
right. Actually, I'm not sure if I do.
So Parks and Rec guru.
Wait, you had a meeting and you said, "Oh, got to go be on the radio."
Yeah, exactly.
That's a great excuse.
I can't miss this.
No, heck no.
It's my opportunity to talk about what's going on.
Your peeps are calling. I got to go.
Yeah, that's right.
What do you got there?
Well, just a little update.
Please.
What's going on?
Yeah.
We've got programs ongoing.
First thing I want to know about is the ceramic ornament dealy bob.
It's a week from today, isn't it?
No, it actually was supposed to start tonight, and
we're not going there.
We're not rolling.
Oh, the 12th. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. That was the first day. Yeah, we didn't get enough to sign up. So
maybe next time.
That happens, some of the other art classes, and from time to time, and I think we're working on the social media aspect at the city of Shelton. I think that would help.
It's hard.
I think getting the word out, especially on a piece of paper, is fairly archaic these days.
Old school.
So yeah, and getting it out in front of people is one of the hard things. I think.
Found that getting information out on paper is archaic on a lot of levels.
It's hard.
It is.
Let me ask you a question, because you send these out with the water bills.
Yeah.
Do people even look at those anymore? Is it all auto drafted from your bank accounts?
No, the city isn't.
Oh, they don't do that?
No. Yeah.
That's not surprising.
So, but I'm not sure. I talk to people about programs, information. They say, well, how can I get it? Can you mail it to me? I said, well, absolutely. And so where do you live? What's your address?
No.
And then it's, Turner or Monroe or whatever it might be. I said, well, you live in the city. You actually get it with your utility bill. And they say, well, I do.
Yeah.
So,
Send us bills?
actually, look in that utility bill, and there's other information in there typically with it. And they say, well, I just grab everything else, I throw it away. I grab my bill, and then I pay it.
Yeah.
So, well, we take that opportunity to send out information about, not only Parks and Rec programs, but other things happening within the city with that mailing, and take a peek at it every once in a while.
Oh,
Yeah.
Back to the drawing board.
Well, the city's invited to participate. We could get you guys hooked up on the website and maybe help folks know more about what you're doing.
We could talk about that a little more. Yeah. Any opportunity to get that information out and have people take advantage of it would be, that's why we're here.
People are communicating differently now than they were in generations gone by.
Yeah.
Not quite by, but generations from before.
Yeah. So we're coming up on basketball season, youth basketball season. I've got my junior cheer camp starting next week as well.
All right.
So that's kicking off up at Olympic Middle School. That starts Monday. It's 4 to 5:30 p.m. So those elementary, middle school kids can go right over there right after school, kind of like a little after school program for a week.
Great.
Yeah.
4 to 5:30. Parents can pick them up, after they're heading home
Now,
from work.
who are the instructors?
The instructors is the Shelton High School cheer team. So
Sweet.
Jesse Squire, the coach, and all the cheerleaders from the high school come in. And I'll tell you, out of any of the instructors that we utilize, especially kind of that high school age instructors, they do the best job. They really engage with the kids. They have a good time.
Totally invested in the slow pitch organization around here too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jesse and her
Exactly
husband,
right,
Rich.
Rich. Yeah. So, the kids come in. There's some little girls that come in that, are shy and don't want to be involved.
Yeah.
And there's always one of the high school girls comes over and grabs them by the hand, takes them out on the floor, starts
feel better.
Yep, exactly. Asking their name, talking to them, making them feel comfortable with the program, and then they're out there doing their cheer, and then they get to perform at a basketball game, at a high school basketball game too. So they get to perform their routine that they learn up in front of a crowd.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
I like
it.
That's awesome.
Hopefully it, and it spurs that activity and that participation and builds confidence in them and all those things that these activities can do.
I imagine your book now, the basketball is taking care of itself, registrations and all that.
They're flowing in now.
Yeah.
We start our clinic on the 21st. So 2nd through 7th graders, all those clinics kick off on Saturday the 21st. So we'll get a bunch of registrations that day. That's the cutoff day, though. You need to show up to the.
Do they need to bring a birth certificate or anything like that? No, it's just it's grade level.
Exactly, grade level. We take your word for it.
Little league work.
Exactly right.
Get vetted.
That can be pretty intense.
It can. Yeah. Well, you have a national organization to deal with Little League. This is Shelton only. You don't have to deal with me. And I make it pretty easy.
Easy going, Mark.
We want anybody to participate. If times are tough and financially for your family, we've got a scholarship program. If it's ride purposes, we can put you on a team with a neighbor. And so you can share rides.
Very cool.
I'll work with you anyway, just to make sure that you have the opportunity to participate. And there's no excuses not to. We'll schedule practices at a certain time or at a certain school. I try to keep teams built per school, per grade schools, Bordeaux, Mountain View, Evergreen. They might be on the same team. Those kids, the practices will be at those schools. So they typically are in the neighborhoods where those folks live, and then it makes it much easier. And
build in rivalries right away.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, why not?
Perfect.
Yeah, exactly. But they get to see each other every Saturday, And
dancing silhouettes there on your sheet. What's that?
We you know what? That's a good question, because we have the adult dance program going on Monday evenings down at the Civic Center. David Lynch been teaching it for several years. Acclaimed dance instructor. And you can still show up and just come once or twice. We still have a couple weeks left. We're going through the 23rd, so I guess there's a couple weeks left of that program. 6 to 7 p.m. down at the Civic Center.
Kind of neat, yeah.
They were in there doing some, I was in there Monday night for a meeting, and he was playing some Frank Sinatra and stuff, and I don't know what I don't know what the dance, I don't know what the particular dance they were doing, but he teaches tango and cha-cha and swing and country swing and all kinds of stuff.
Waltz.
So, waltzes, exactly right.
Neat.
All of those things. So we've got a few participants in there, and you could certainly show up if you want to, if this is the first time you heard of it, or your schedule didn't permit previously, and show up for
fun and good exercise.
It is.
Yeah, it gets your heart rate going.
Absolutely right. Yeah, because you're nervous and
yeah, sweaty palms. Got to walk across the floor.
I was going to say that. Ask the girl to dance. One.
Girls have no idea how stressful that is. Guys got to walk across that long floor, and
That's
you
right.
say no.
That's
it's
a
twice as long back,
long walk
and all
back.
your buddies over there going.
Good.
Yeah.
Mark, you got that on like a PDF or digital copy?
I
or-
do,
Okay,
absolutely. So we
cool.
can send it out. It's on the city's website. I'm happy to send out electronic copy,
Okay.
digital copy,
Okay.
We'll see what we can
hard
do.
copy, whatever
Whatever it takes.
fits your needs. Exactly right.
We'll try to help you out getting that, at least the digital version.
This is the
out on
fall-winter
website or
version.
something.
This is the fall-winter version. Yeah, we'll start new programming in January for the kind of winter/spring, because I do 3 a year. I don't follow all 4 seasons, so
Okay.
we have to kind of combine, but it works fairly well. And
Yeah.
so we start looking at the outdoor programs that time of year. So softball and baseball.
Yeah,
all
for
those
spring,
things.
all those things.
Yeah.
But right now we'll be hunkered down inside.
We have pickleball and tai chi and yoga and adult drop-in basketball and youth drop-in basketball and all those things going right now as well too in the down at the transit center, down at the civic center. So there's opportunities for adults to participate too with those pickleball programs.
A
And
lot of availability, times to slot in. And
yeah, five sessions of pickleball a week.
so there's no excuse, Dale.
Yeah,
Dale.
That's right, Dale. And and Wednesdays are great nights to go down there from 5 to 7 because the numbers are fairly low right now. Seeing some people that are normally playing that are maybe heading to Arizona or something for the winter, and numbers are fairly low. And there's typically at least one court where if you're a beginner, you can come in, you can play the whole 2 hours and kind of get the game down, learn a little bit, maybe with some other people that are beginners. I've got a few people that are fairly advanced players that help out as well. And so it's a good way to get new people involved and come on down. And we've got paddles for you, and you can learn the game a little bit in a comfortable environment that's not too fast paced. And then
Right. Still good exercise, though.
Yeah.
It's great exercise.
And there's a reason why pickleball is sweeping the nation, especially for the older adult population.
It's tremendous. Exactly right. Yeah. That's the folks that go to Arizona and come back here in the summer and play. They're building outdoor courts in Arizona all over the place where these
Are they
where these,
really?
these snowbird and retirement communities are. They're taking out tennis courts and building pickleball courts because it's.
But you can superimpose a pickleball court on a tennis
you
court.
can absolutely.
If you're not too picky about dimensions and that sort of thing. And as a matter of fact, I saw 2 couples playing pickleball at the tennis courts up at Lake Cushman the other day by the golf course.
Yeah.
And so
doubles or 2 singles?
They were playing doubles.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So very cool.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Keep our community healthy and active.
You
for
bet.
sure.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about, man.
You bet.
Is that it? Is that all you got to share with us today?
One other thing, I guess, we have new art up in the Civic Center. So rotating art gallery.
Yeah.
We installed the art Tuesday evening. So there's 2 new artists up in there. We've got some huge prints of Antarctica, and a young man from Pacific Lutheran University studied abroad, and one of those studies, that trip was to Antarctica, and so he's got some great pictures of the landscape and some wildlife from Antarctica in there, and they're great big prints. They're like 30 inch by 36 inch prints, and so they're pretty neat. They grab your eye when you come in the building there, and there's some nice pen and ink by another guy. That's the detail on them is amazing. So
next time, instead of coming in through the jail door, you can
maybe
go through
come
the
through
main entrance of the Civic
come
Center.
through the front door
And
try something new, Dale.
all right, Mark, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Appreciate it, guys.
Parks and Rec Director for the City of Shelton, Mark Ziegler.
Yeah.
9 away from 9. A little quick pause, and we'll put the wraps on this Thursday on Daybreak with Jeff and Dale. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
If you're on the hunt for some fast holiday cash, you'll find big bucks at our community credit union. It's our job as your trusted financial partner to provide fast access to cash when you need it most. With the Holiday Quick Bucks loan, you'll enjoy $1,200 for holiday shopping, winter travels, or whatever you wish. $1,200 at 9.95 annual percentage rate on a 12-month term. Apply online at OURCU.com or visit a branch in Shelton, Union, McClary, Elma, Montesano, and Vashon. The hunt is over. Find big bucks at our community credit union today.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom31.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom31.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom31.com. Go to freedom31.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom31.com.
Happy holidays indeed from the Lucky Dog Casino. It's the 100 LED TV giveaway on selected Saturdays in November and December. Sports fans, gather at the Dog. UFC 193 watch party November 14th featuring Ronda Rousey on the 130-inch HD TV in the event room where the Seahawks play. Get all the details at myluckydogcasino.com. Minutes north of Shelton on Highway 101. The Lucky Dog Casino.
Hi, this is Les Watson from the Shelton Police Department, and you're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on Newsradio 1030 KMAS.
All right, Dale, you can't tell me if this is a true statement or not. You can't bribe crocodiles.
False.
Oh, really?
You can bribe
you can maybe with some chicken legs.
Yeah, chicken or your finger.
Indonesia is mulling a new prison guard.
Well, now you're going somewhere.
Indonesia has strict drug laws. Convicted smugglers are executed by firing squads. The prison system itself is quite corrupt, and it's led officials to think about a new type of guard. A crocodile. Now,
I see where you're going with the bribe thing.
We know if it's we don't know this, but here's this. If there's two cops and a suspect, the suspect will run.
Sure.
If it's two cops and a dog and a suspect, that suspect is not going anywhere because of the dog.
Yeah.
Nothing against the cops. But we see this. People are very freaked out when it comes to those kind of things. Local news source called Tempo reporting drugs are common throughout the country's prison system, traded amongst inmates, thanks to the corrupt guards. And I guess death row inmates are the biggest part of the problem. So bad that the Indonesian government anti-drug crusader Budi Waseso came up with this cold-blooded idea. He wants to isolate the death row prisoners in their own separate facility, then hand-pick reptiles to keep the prisoners from escaping. We'll place as many crocodiles as we can there, and I will search for the most ferocious type.
And then how do you feed the inmates? How do you get to them to feed them?
You throw the chicken. No, I don't know what you do. It's got to have somebody in like a big suit that is able to go, okay, crocodile.
Where's the noob?
Yeah, it's the noobs.
They got to go feed the
day one. Hey, we got this new guy working here.
Alligators and crocodiles and stuff out here.
Government officials will reportedly kind of think about it. Maybe not a bad idea.
Maybe not a bad idea.
You know,
Al Michaels, 71 today.
Who?
Al Michaels, sportscaster.
Yes.
71.
I like him.
He looks good, didn't he?
Decent enough.
See, I did that for a male this time instead of a female. Just to kind of keep it all.
I gotcha.
Megan Mullally from Will and Grace. She's funny.
Yeah, she was not one of the mains.
No, she was like the neighbor or the friend of the. Which is a friend of Grace, right? I don't know
if I ever watched
Whatever.
that show.
Anyway, she's 50. Nadia Comaneci.
Yes, she was a gymnast.
Yes, she's probably, maybe in her mind still is a gymnast. She's only 54. Still flexible, I think. Bart Connor, another gymnast, an American gymnast, married her.
Oh, they got a lot in common.
They certainly do. And
whoa, this is a great sports day.
It is.
Sammy Sosa's birthday.
Tanya
Harding.
Tanya Harding's. That's
Cody DePablo.
Yeah, who left NCIS to take on because she wasn't getting paid enough.
Now she's not.
And she's
enough,
pursuing
right?
her career. I got options. Well, her option apparently was retirement because I've never seen her since.
I like that new girl though on the show.
I do too. Hey, have a great day, everybody.
Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Animals certainly have their own unique languages. Should we be surprised they also have regional dialects or accents? That's our topic today on the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report.
All right, listen up, because this is the most important thing you're going to hear all day. What if I said you could make money flipping houses without any cash, credit, or manual labor? And what if I said you could do it part-time from the comfort of your home?